Hail and well met. Welcome to the Extra Life festivities here at the Dungeon Scrawlers. I am Eric Scott to be often the DM of games on the Dungeon Scrawlers, but not this time because this time we have a special guest, Daniel Hodges from the folks who make the Aroria gaming system. He's going to tell you a little bit about that. Before I kick it over to him, I'm going to tell you about Extra Life. Extra Life is a charity event where we raise money for needful people, specifically children having medical issues, and I think we're donating to Children's Hospital. That's the one that we usually do. I'm not entirely sure on that, but
the whole thing supports Children's Miracle Network hospitals across the U.S.
There we go. That's it. Children's Miracle Hospitals Network. So we're raising funds for them, money that comes to us today or goes to our incentives. Check out the link down there in the doobly-doo for
just
the
type in
games that we're playing today.
Extra Life into the chat, and then it'll spit out a link.
Perfect. Money that comes in will go to that network. It's a very excellent cause, and we would love you to help us make it happen. We are going to be playing 3 games today. One is this Aroria game, which Daniel's running for us. 2 is a game run by the wonderful Keith Ammon about who was the author of The Monsters Know What They're Doing. It's going to be a dungeon delvey sort of situation where the monsters are much smarter than you encounter in a usual D&D game, and we're looking forward to that. That's from 4 to 8, and then from 8 to 12, we are kicking off the final story arc of the Westgate Irregulars campaign, which I am calling Westgate Irregulars Destiny. So make sure you tune in for that. It's going to be a good time, and that is going to unfold over the next couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to send it over to Daniel to tell you more about what's going to go down.
Yeah. Hey, hello everyone. My name is Daniel Hodges from Ink and Lyre. Ink and Lyre, we are the creators, and I'm the primary author on Stargazer's Guide to Aroria, which we released last year on Kickstarter. It's currently available on Drive-Thru RPG right now, but it is a setting for Dungeons & Dragons 5e that is primarily centered around the zodiac signs, and we've created a whole new system where characters get new abilities, and it's a fun, unique way to experience the game. The adventure we're playing today is the third part of a 3-part adventure, so the conclusion of the kind of early set stage, kind of the first 1 through 3 levels that's included with the book. So this is kind of the introductory adventure to Aroria, 2 Stargazers that allows you to explore Lacambria and kind of get to know the signs. So it's a very fun game, and I'm excited to share it with you all. This particular adventure was not written by myself. It was written by our good friend Jake, who ran the first 2 adventures for this particular group, and I'm excited to bring us around to the conclusion. I'm excited to be here and help out with some charity stuff. So super fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Take it away, Rhiannon.
I'm Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy under Rhiannon Held and space opera under RZ Held. And usually I'm telling you about our sponsors. The Idle Champions of Forgotten Realms, there is a chess code on our screen. And Norse Foundry, who makes awesome metal dice, is doing a $25 gift card giveaway. And I believe that Phoenix Dice, which makes dice from recycled materials, has some stuff in our incentives. So take a look at our Extra Life incentives, because not only are you giving to an awesome charity, but you're also getting some cool stuff that either affecting our stream or for yourself throughout the day. So check those out.
Yeah, if you want to enter the giveaway for the $25 gift certificate from Norse Foundry, we're running that giveaway all day, and we'll pick winners at the very end of our stream marathon. It is $25 for our lucky winner, and that's open to anybody in the world. Just use !ticket into the chat to enter that. The number of winners will be determined by the total amount of money that we have raised by the end of the day for Extra Life. And so far, we're off to an amazing start. We have $1,000 out of $3,000 of our $3,000 goal. We have a number of really awesome incentives, for you. So type in ! Extra life into the chat to get a link for that. So some of the cool things that we have, beyond incentives for games like advantage, disadvantage, etc. Erin M. Evans is doing a special charity package for her upcoming book, Empire of Exiles. Now, even if you have pre-ordered the book, this charity package will have a signed copy of the book, and it'll come with an exclusive t-shirt, and you'll get a copy of all the other pre-order goodies, such as the art. So, you could gift away the extra stuff, you could keep the signed copy for yourself, and it is the only place to get the t-shirt. And I believe that is $100 anywhere in the world. And we also have some packages like Rhiannon said, from Phoenix Dice, and we also have one from Savage Sparrow, 3 t-shirts of your choice from her website. She does lots of really funny, custom, unique t-shirts that cover all sorts of fandoms, such as Warhammer 40k, Pathfinder, etc., etc. Go check them out. They got awesome t-shirts and dresses with pockets.
Yes. Wonderful. I'm Stephen Merlino. Normally I play Sturge on the Westgate Irregulars. I'm very sorry to miss the final episode tonight. I've got a memorial for a good friend from a previous life that happens to coincide with that time frame today. So I won't be there, but I'm sure they'll handle things well. And I'm doing the Tuesday stream, the second channel for Dungeon Scrawlers, the Convolution, which is a kind of blend of Far Realms meets Material Plane and bad things happen and people try to survive game, Tuesday nights. And Yang Yang plays in that game as well. We do that with Chris Carnahan over at Carney Sideshow and a couple other folks from Taiwan where they're based. And we have a good time, kind of an expansion of the Dungeon Scrawlers channels. I'm happy to be here. Want to see the conclusion of the story of these destined characters in the Aroria universe.
Yeah, sorry, before you begin, I forgot to plug one of our big items for the day. So, Eric previously mentioned Keith, who is the author of The Monsters Know What They're Doing. I mean, this is like one of the resources that as a DM I go to almost every single time before I run my games. It helps you run smarter monsters.
Yeah.
And so Keith is not only running a one-shot for us, but if you have ever wanted to play with Keith as your DM and you want to test your group against his smart monsters and intelligent forts, he is offering a one-shot for your group anytime, scheduled anytime, over the internet, for $1,000. So
wow.
Talk to your group members, pool your funds, and then you could run a one-shot with Keith, and then you could brag how you beat the dungeon of the DM who writes, The Monsters Know What They're Doing.
Sounds pretty awesome.
Yes, on our Extra Life page.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right, take it away, Daniel.
All right. Well, then let's get started. Our story began several days ago on the single island, the capital city of Lacambria in Aroria. Several days ago, when all of you were tasked by Curator Traver to investigate some unsettling activity inside Nouveau Maximum's newest exhibit, the Stars of Aroria. The exhibit is a celebration of the stars and signs of an Aroria, and you all soon discovered that one of those manifestations, the Swindle Twins, happened to be tampering and running amok within the exhibit. Through trials and tribulations among the stars, you successfully purged the twins and brought peace of mind to Curator Tiber. You all earned a handsome sum of coin, the respect of Curator Tiber, and a relaxing afternoon at the carnival. With pride in your heart and gold in your purse, the games and festivities were a welcome reprieve from your adventures. Still, though, strange occurrences plagued your good time, and you soon discovered that Marcus Torrell, Curator Tiber's assistant, may be involved in a nefarious plot of his own. After reporting this information to Niveau Maximum, Curator Tiber has once again recruited you all to attend the opening night at the exhibit. And while she trusts Marcus, your presence there will ensure that the event goes smoothly in her eyes. Now, opening night at Niveau Maximum is an elegant affair, and your typical adventuring garb that you travel on the road with every day just simply won't do. So, tonight's story begins with all of you over at Mangwin's Magical Mysteries, which is just a short skip, hop, and a jump away from Niveau Maximum. And some of the staff are helping you quickly upgrade your equipment and some of your leathers and your clothing into something more stylish and effective for bodyguards and people in a elegant affair like this. Should the Swindle twins or Marcus attempt to affect the curator's plans?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mangwin's is an impossibly large magical shop with doorways that link dozens or perhaps hundreds, maybe thousands of pocket dimensions together. The room you find yourself in now is a cottagecore cozy, with olive green ottomans and pillows and lounges with rope gold accents all around. There are individuals, mostly students from Nouveau Maximum, who are coming in and out of the room, helping you make upgrades to your gear, hemming up your capes or sleeves or whatever you may have, and polishing jewelries and accessories and letting you borrow those for the night. So let's go around the table and remind everyone who our characters are. So give me a description of who you are, your character's name, and what they may be wearing at this particular event that's a little bit more elevated in style and what they would look at. So whoever wants to get started off.
I was just busily unclicking scale mail, shields, explorers back.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. So leave all that on. Mechanically speaking, what we are doing is we are going to upgrade your scale mail to make it look just as amazing as it can be. So think
Polished.
it's polished, it's nice. They put a new strap over the top of it. It looks perfect. We're just going to elevate that up, make it look nicer. But mechanically, everything stays the same.
I mean, that's perfect, because Vaskir would absolutely wear plate mail to the ball. He just put like a ribbon on it or something.
Makes sense.
100%.
Well, let's start with Vaskir then. How's he gonna doll up that plate mail?
Yeah, so Vaskir is a tall, lean human individual with dark features, dark eyes, dust-colored skin. He looks like he's been cut from a piece of really angular hard rock, and he's wearing bright. That's in contrast to the bright, shining plate mail that he's wearing. There's not like a speck to it. There's not like a flaw to it. It is finely polished and well cared for. And he carries a really large gleaming shield, which has the depiction of his order on it, on the front of it. And this is also, equally polished. For this day, for the ball, he's prepared a fine set of ribbons to put on his plate mail. He has a single crimson-colored ribbon on the right side of his collar, and he's got a secondary golden ribbon right over his heart, like to the left of his heart.
These are like prize ribbons, or are they diagonally draped ribbons?
They're like prize ribbons, and he also wears like a fine silken sash of cobalt blue.
Ooh.
Are these particularly relevant colors for Vaskir, or are they just? Is there something special here that we need to know about?
Those are the colors of his alma mater medical school that he once attended before he became a paladin.
Very cool. It's got some collegiate stuff going on here. Very cool.
Okay.
I'll jump in.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
No, yeah, go for it.
So Datura, being a sorcerer, no armor or anything like that. And she's a Fey folk Satyrsson. So body shape wise, she's like a pair, like even more. So not much in the chest, but then a lot of sort of hips and that sort of thing. And so at first she's a little dubious that she can do something fancy. But what they presumably eventually talk her into is that she's not going to have a full like floor length dress because she wants to be able to move, but she'll have like a knee length dress that sort of flares out. So it's got a lot of sort of movement around her knees, and then up at her shoulders, she'll have sleeves that are also kind of flared out so that there's a little bit of movement. And generally she dresses in neutrals, because the great thing about neutrals is that they go with all the other neutrals. So a lot of gray, a lot of brown, a little bit of black. So this, the elevated version is more of a kind of shimmery, starry kind of gray that she's got in the dress. And then she's also wearing leggings underneath in black so that she can climb or jump or anything and there won't be any problem.
Okay, well, Goethe is wearing a suit of studded leather armor, which is, more like brigandine than like the studs. I'm in the middle of explaining. The studs aren't actually protective. They're just to hold the pieces of metal inside the armor. That's how it works. But I want each of these studs to be artful. I want them each to look like a small leaf or a bird or an insect. And then I want feathers, all the feathers all over me. Have wings.
What
Beautiful.
color feathers?
I want to go with black and red and gray and purple and blue and white. And Goethe just keeps listing colors until the mad tailors finally make them stop. Goethe is a gnome, uses he and or they pronouns, and is a rogue and has recently taken up their career. This was their lifelong goal of being a noted mixologist within the city. So I am constantly making different mixes of different concoctions to just try out for whatever reason at any given time.
Is he going to be one of those annoying guests at the ball who gets behind the bar and says, "Oh, whoa, let me show you something. I'll show you. Have you ever heard of this one? Have you heard of this one?"
Almost certainly. As you see, in the world of Aroria, mixologist is an actual rogue subclass, and these actually have mechanical benefits. So you will see.
That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting very strong like Hunger Games Mockingjay vibes right now from this coming.
I have fire. I want fire. Can I have fire? I want fire. Yes.
You are fire.
Well, Friar Tim is a clothes horse. He loves this idea, and he's going to shed his scale mail because it's truly not appropriate, and there's no way he's bringing a shield to a ball. Instead, he's taking advantage of the fact that these tailors will clad him in something glorious, something befitting his stature as a summer solstice celesticept. And so he is commissioning a white underrobe with a gold outer robe. He's very tall and narrow, so he kind of looks like a candle when he's dressed up this way. And he has long straight hair that goes down to his waist and a very neatly trimmed beard. And he spends most of his time at this place having his nails and a pedicure and a manicure done, and having the barbers tighten up his beard and do his hair. He also has the cloak of elfish priestly, which he got from the last adventure.
That's right.
I have determined is gold and white, which would fit elfish priestly if he were in his later days. And that's what he's doing. And he's in hog heaven. He's just getting pampered and feeling good.
Excellent.
I love it. Now, the fun part about Mangwin's magical mysteries is that these tailors and the people that are assisting all of you with your garments, which are all fabulous, by the way. Well done, all of you. Incredible stuff. These are not just your run-of-the-mill people. These are students at Niveau Maximum, people who are trying to become the greatest wizards and wizards of all of Aroria. And so when they do these alterations, there's a little something special going on for all of you. Specifically, Vaskir, with the addition of your collegiate crest from the medical work that you got, for the duration of this adventure, while you are wearing this particular garment, you're going to have advantage on persuasion and medicine checks that you make throughout this game.
Heck yeah.
To give you that bonus. Gerta, those wings that you've acquired give you a little bit of a glide. Whenever you do your movement speed, you will always be able to glide with that. In addition, they make you a little faster. You're gonna get 10 feet of movement additional as long as you're wearing this. Amazing. Now, when I say that, for the duration of this adventure, Datura, you have chosen to wear something that is flowy, and you've got the leggings underneath, and you've chosen to prioritize almost dexterity over maybe kind of, the form-fitting stuff. So for the duration of this adventure, all of your dexterity checks are +1 on everything. So flat +1 to all your dex stuff for the duration of this. And then Friar Tim, the cloak, the gold, you strike a just fine figure in this, and you're going to have advantage on all your charisma checks for the duration of this adventure, no matter where we are.
Right on.
And with that, I'm going to throw it all of you in this room if you want to plan or do anything, because our next trip is the actual exhibit starts in about 30 minutes. And so we're ready to head over there as soon as you are. But I want to throw it to all of you to talk and plan or do anything before we leave.
Did you say that the curator does not believe that her ex-assistant is out to get her?
I said that she trusts Marcus to respect she trusts Marcus, and in that I mean that she trusts Marcus to respect the exhibit itself. And so she is concerned about it enough to bring you all in.
Okay. And can you remind us what he is? Like, is he a human?
Marcus is, I think he's just a person. Humanoid, human.
Human, okay.
Mm-hmm. He's just a guy.
I think he was involved with the magical sort of crafting of the exhibit, is my memory.
Yes, that's correct. I believe he and Lady Traber worked together primarily. Of course, she's the primary one, but he was her assistant the majority of the time.
And the place where the ball is not the same place as the museum where we were first.
Same place.
Oh, it is
same place. We're going to the exhibit.
Oh,
going directly to the exhibit.
There's going to be weird magic stuff all over the place.
Well, no, we fixed it last time. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Everything's normal now.
Yeah, the former designer who hates the curator totally hasn't sabotaged anything. Right.
Probably won't even be there.
So now, do you think we got a chance to take a long rest before we go? I note that my character's down on a couple of hit points.
If you haven't taken a long rest, you definitely should. There would have been time between the carnival and now, for sure.
Thank you.
So definitely take a long rest, for sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, I was a bit hurt at the end of last game. I may have found myself with a certain cloak that allowed me to scurry around and hide and climb, and everybody wanted to catch me for some reason. Anyway.
I forget what that was called. What was that individual called?
The squirrel? You talking about the squirrel?
It was,
no.
Yeah,
or it's a weasel.
The weasel.
The weasel.
The
That's what it
weasel,
was.
yeah.
The weasel.
Weasel, yeah. That was pretty awesome.
Yep. But I had to abandon the weasel cloak because my friends needed me, and it provided an excellent distraction when I threw it. So
Awesome.
I'm excited to be a part of this. Let's do it.
We're bodyguards, are we?
I don't know
Oh,
regarding any
goodness.
bodies. We're there to react when the magic starts to go wrong. Oh, I mean, if the magic
Yeah.
starts to go wrong.
We should definitely keep our eyes open that way. I have this one ability to touch things and know if they're magical. I suppose I'll do a lot of touching tonight.
That Skier looks uncomfortable. Not only because of that, he's looked uncomfortable this whole time. Balls are not his thing, and so he's standing sort of off to the side. You can see that his forehead is like a little glistening. You've never seen him like nervous like this. And he like looks to each of you, and he tries to note if you have a shiny reflective object that he could hide in
Ah, yes.
if things get a little too awkward.
Golden Sun Medallion, perhaps?
Yes, I'm not great at these sort of events, so if it becomes a little too overwhelming for me, would you mind if I wrote in your amulet?
I do not mind. Do you need to touch it in order to enter it?
I need to be near it.
All right. I won't even notice then, probably, unless you disappear. I'll assume you're in my amulet. And if I need your help, can you hear me in the amulet?
I believe so. I just wanted to warn you in case you got into any sort of awkward situation. You just know that there's a friend nearby.
We saw him do this before, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
What did he go into before? Oh,
Like a
he
barrel?
was with Goethe, and when Goethe was doing that one red light green light game,
Yeah,
then you-
yeah.
then you popped out of something, and
You were
like-
out of it was a belt buckle. It was a
Ah.
very
Belt
reflective
buckle.
belt buckle.
That's right.
Mhm.
right.
Datura is looking like, what? Because she wasn't there
It's
at
a
the
long
carnival,
story.
so-
You would enjoy it,
Yeah.
but it's long. Here, drink this old fashioned first.
But
Anyone?
we're gonna-
Anyone?
we're-
Anyone? Anyone?
We're gonna be
Anyone?
on duty.
Right. So which I guess let's go. Yes,
Yeah, let's
you
go.
may enter my belt buckle. I mean my holy symbol at any time.
Thank you, Friar Tim. I appreciate that, my friend.
That's
good to-
so romantic.
It's good to have a fellow Celestisep in my company. Together we are strong.
Yes.
All right.
You should also
You-
be honored to know that you will be, you might have the best dressed of our group riding in your amulet. Apparently, Vaskir took the poll with 14. One vote
Wow.
over Gerta. One vote over Gerta.
Oh, I'm sad about
no.
Datura. She tried.
It's close. It's a close call.
It's okay, Datura. You're my best dressed.
Hmm.
Real quick, so Veskier and Friar Tim are both Celestisep.
Yes.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
I want to remind everyone, so the Celestisep are very special in the sense of the way they relate to one another. I'm sure you both know, but I want to remind our entire audience, Celestisep are they're very rare, but there's obviously a lot of adventurers because adventurers are rare. But having two Celestisep together gives you some benefits. The least of which is that Celestisep can always talk to each other telepathically when they're
Oh.
near.
I forgot that.
at all times. And then I think there's a couple of other things that they can do. Like there's some other bonuses, but
Armor
when
class.
Yeah,
within
AC
30
bonus.
feet.
there's an AC bonus. You can always talk to others
Attack bonus.
telepathically
Yeah.
when you're together. So riding that belt buckle, that's a very cool thing for you two to do right now.
Yeah, that is really cool because I can then when you're in the holy symbol, you can communicate with me still,
Mhm.
and I can
At all
relay
times.
your ideas.
You could
Just
feel the
chatting
awkward.
Just chatting with your belt buckle.
No. Symbol. Come on, folks.
Yeah, that's right. It's the
I wrote
amulet.
I
Amulet.
did write down belt buckle equals holy symbol. Got it.
big giant sun splay belt buckle.
Sounds about right.
Are we ready to head over to our Nouveau Maximum, to the exhibit?
Yes.
Yes.
Would
So
anyone
we-
like a drink beforehand?
Yes,
No,
please.
Oh.
Excellent.
I need something to steal my nerves.
Okay. What
So-
can I make you?
The strongest, stiffest drink
I
you've
know.
got.
I just mix a bunch of things and I hand over this thing that's just a tankard of ale. Here you go.
Thank you.
This will steady your nerves. Okay, for the next 8 hours, you have advantage on saving throws against fear.
Oh, wow.
Ooh,
It literally steadies your nerves.
That's amazing.
I like the old fashioned. That sounded quite good.
Okay, well, I can only make one more. Here you go.
Very nice. It's all right if I just nurse it, isn't it?
No, you have to drink the whole thing, otherwise it has no effect.
But
It says so in the mechanics. I mean, that's how drinks work.
But I can nurse it over the course of an hour or so.
Right, well, it won't work until you finish it,
That's fine.
but it's going to get watered down. I hope you know that. You're drinking weak drink.
Weak drink.
How
Well,
dare you? But it's fine. You do what you want. Anyway,
That's right.
Steven, when you finish drinking that drink, it will give you 1d10 temporary hit points.
Ooh, very nice.
Yep.
Wow, how fun.
I already
a-
drank one of those myself.
That
Anyway.
is a cool subclass.
Yeah, that's super rad.
Rhiannon, I can't get you one for you because I could only make 3. Sorry.
Well,
Tomorrow I will make you a drink. I mean, I'll keep making you drinks, but they won't be magic drinks.
yeah, you just give it regular drink.
That's
Yeah,
right.
nothing is stopping you from popping out another old fashioned.
Yeah.
It just isn't magical.
Strawberries. Here, I hand her a really big, tall, red drink. This is a hurricane. Enjoy.
So she'll drink it and be waiting for something to happen, a little bit kind of disappointed.
The
Tim will
only
say-
magic inherent in this one is that you get drunk.
Yeah, do that to your wild magic sorcerer. I'm sure it'll.
Hey.
All right. Well, like a bunch of college kids going down Bourbon Street, we make our way across the Cambria to Nouveau Maximum. Okay. We begin moving. And you start walking through the streets of Lacambria, and you've all been here before. You've been adventuring here for a little while. Lacambria itself is a vibrant city, especially right now. There are vendors from the carnival. There are lots of pennants and flags and streamers, the occasional firework and magical toy going off. There are games, and you can get drinks on the road, of course. There are funnel cakes and all of that, but we are, one drink in and heading to do our jobs, right? So we're making our way through them. As you get closer, you arrive at Nouveau Maximum, one of the great wonders of the world, the wonders of Aroria. This the largest library in all of Aroria that towers above the city. It is a pinnacle of intellect and knowledge and arcane wizardry in the world of Aroria. As you make your way into the building, you walk through grandiose halls, taking in an ornate book-filled library that takes up the entire southern wing, which is where the exhibit is. Or from the southern wing, striding into the west wing of the building, a great banner adorned with magical flares, glittering with arcane stars, and brilliant magical lettering burns high above you, and it reads, "The Stars of Aroria, Grand Opening." An attendant hands those of you who do not have a drink a glass of fizzling liquid, and another one for you to double fist if that's what you prefer.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I may
And-
not have the 2 weapon fighting style, but I have the 2 drinking style. Yeah.
That's amazing. You step into the room and you survey a mass of people who have gathered for this event. You, of course, have arrived as guests of Curator Lee Triper. The woman who's put on this exquisite event, and you've been tasked, as we said earlier, to make sure that this night goes smoothly, that there is no involvement from the Swindletons and twins, and that Marcus doesn't appear or any of those things. And you are tasked with attending the event, having a good time, absorbing everything that's there, and keeping a lookout for those things. Or anyone who would potentially harm the event or harm Curator Triber as well. As you enter into the exhibit, the museum, you notice the museum has moved a number of famous artifacts into this kind of entrance hall, including a colossal fossil of some strange predatory monster. I put that up on Roll20 so you can all see that. And there are dioramas of historic battles and the years past throughout, showcasing Aroria's history and the heroes and their signs, the ones that made their mark on history because they are destined by these stars. To your right, you notice a group of archaeologists and astronomers dressed in elegant attire, gossiping excitedly. To your left, it looks like people have made a line to get tickets for the actual exhibit itself. And immediately before you, you can see there's an attendant answering questions of some of the guests. And she actually has this attendant actually has like a little star above their head that looks like a question mark, so that people know this is where you ask questions. And notably, and in addition, there are 12 primary exhibits in the space in addition to those things, one for each of the signs. You see a moon made of gemstone that's cycling through the various phases. There's a display case with a frost-covered maul, a black and crimson battle axe, and a softball-sized piece of meridium. And then on the farther side, there's a vial of viscous but incredibly clear liquid. It looks like it might as well not have anything in it at all. But there's something in there, obviously, but it's over there on a small little podium. There's a little glass case around it. Just to name a few of the things that you see here. But this space is yours. What do you do?
And how many other people are in this space?
This is the start of the exhibit. So at this point, there are probably somewhere between 50 and 100 folks in this area. I would imagine that over the course of the next 30 minutes to an hour or so, we're going to fill up into the 200s. It's probably what we're heading to. Mm-hmm. It's a very big space. Think gymnasium kind of size.
Shall we stroll about, perceiving, looking for anyone that looks like did we kill everybody who attacked us in the market?
Oh yeah, dead.
Well,
right. Not necessarily. There might have been a survivor.
Let's see if we notice anyone looking shifty, nervous, anxious.
Leave you folks alone. So Datura, the others can look at people. Datura, the first time when we were at the exhibit, there were runes that Marcus had left. And so Datura is specifically looking at any surface that she can see to try to find other runes.
To try and find other runes. Okay.
That's a good idea.
Go ahead and give first roll of this evening. Go ahead and give me a investigation check, if you will, as you search around.
Just gonna use my regular old hardcore dice right in my hand.
Hardcore dice the physical dice are great. You can also roll on Roll20 if you need to.
Yeah.
There's an ambulance coming by my house. I'm so sorry.
Can't hear it. So that's a 10. Not a great.
10.
Distracted by all the people.
There are very many people, specifically looking for the arcane runes and the maybe traps and things that Marcus had before. You don't see anything like that in particular. I think that you would notice, and probably the thing that gathers your attention more than anything, is there is a large dais with a pedestal that looks like there's some arcane kind of machinery on it. And I imagine that maybe you spend a lot of time there, but there are no arcane runes in that area. It's like this thing looks weird, but nothing to it.
Before the machinery, it like activated her wild magic when she touched it. Does she have the feeling that it would happen again if she touched it now?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not with the way. I think that the before stuff was a reflection maybe of the Swindle twins. Gotcha. And their influence on the machine. At this point, it does not.
Cool.
No sign of any shiftiness or swindle twinniness among the groups?
Maybe. Why don't you make a perception check?
12.
Not that you can tell.
Vaskir, you noticing anything? Goethe?
You notice that Vaskir has made his way over to the astrologers.
Goethe is going to go where the information is, and that's where the people are drinking. So I am over by the bar, mixing drinks, listening to conversation, and just trying to learn some information.
Okay. So what I heard was Vaskir's going over to talk to some of the astrologers, and that our dear Goethe is going to go mix more drinks and listen for rumors, perhaps.
Mix and mingle. Mm-hmm.
I think cool. Tim will stay with Vaskir because we have certain advantages together.
Okay.
And he'll just kind of brush his hand over surfaces, checking for runes in that way, because if he does touch them, because he's a planar domain cleric, he feels a humming or a vibration if there's magic.
Okay. So let's go ahead, and so here's what we'll do. We're going to take all three of these things that are kind of happening simultaneously. We've got we've got Dirta and Friar Tim kind of scoping out the whole area, looking for runes, looking for things in time. We've got Vaskir listening for rumors, or not Vaskir talking to astrologers, and then we've got Goethe listening to rumors and things like that. Let me get. Goethe, you can roll one of two things, and they kind of have different results. You can either do charisma to try and get more people to talk to you and be happier about it, or you can also do insight to kind of get a sense of how people are feeling. Which of those would you like to roll?
I think we'll go with the charisma thing. Would it be persuasion or just a straight charisma check?
Give me a straight charisma check.
Okay,
This is you're mixing stuff together and fixing and figuring out all those things together and trying to get as many people as possible to kind of talk to you and tell you about what's going on and what they've got.
Oh, that's a 22. Nice.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I will say that so over the time that you were here, you learn that two things. Number one, the thing that everyone is most excited about is that the museum has on display on this evening. The museum has on display two things, or two things that are very notable, that people are very, very excited about with that Christmas show. The first is they have some of the adventuring gear of one Craigus Brightscale on hand, who is an incredibly famous adventurer throughout Aroria's history, and including his entire family line. The second thing you hear, so people are very, very excited about Craigus' stuff and seeing that in person. And then the second thing that you hear from a rumor standpoint, asking about and potentially asking about Marcus and things like that, is that there were at least 3 individuals who match Marcus's description on the premises earlier in the day. People saw people like that. People saw individuals that matched his description that you may have given out to them. And so you think there is a good chance that you're hearing a rumor that he is on site.
Oh, I wish one of my friends were here, or I could communicate telepathically with them. Oh well, keep pouring drinks and wait until somebody shows up. I'm gonna like wave to the others, like,
Yeah. So you acquire all that information. We'll say over the course of about 10 or 15 minutes. Vaskir, you go up and approach some of the astrologers. What do you say?
So Vaskir has had this magical fortifying drink from Gerta, and he's feeling fine. He's feeling much more carefree than he did before. He's fortified against his fear of not only these, situations, these social situations, but perhaps also dancing. So he'll go over to this group and he'll say, "Hail, well-dressed fellows and ladies. Oh, don't you hate coming to these big group gatherings? So awkward with so many people looking at us, dancing, dressed up. I'd so much rather gossip and talk about the latest ongoings, especially if there's anything nefarious happening, right?"
Nefarious, you say? You are absolutely right, my friend. And there's a large, heavy-set man in his late 40s. He's got kind of a receding hairline, a well-waxed mustache, and he looks right at you. He says, "Absolutely, these are horrible times. Let us my friend. Would you? I would love to discuss some nefarious deeds.
Well, I would love to know how you oiled that mustache to get it into that fine spear-like shape. Yes,
with the same stuff you oiled up this breastplate, obviously." And he gives a little shine. "Here, come with me. What is your name, friend? I think we can maybe help each other." Vaskir.
Yes.
Vaskir, my name is Britchin Callwater.
Britchin, a fine name, sir.
Yes.
Have I heard of Britchin Callwater before? Do I know anything? Does it ring any bells?
Give me a history check. No. You can give me history or you can give me Arcana. Your choice.
Let's go with history. That is going to be a 9.
I don't think his name. He's not famous enough in like general circles for you to have heard of him. With a 9. Vaskir, my friend, here, come with me. You ask about nefarious deeds here at this event. What would cause you to do such a thing? Are you concerned that there are treachery afoot?
Oh, I'm just generally nervous at these sort of events. Not only talking to people and dancing, that makes me so uncomfortable, but but actually, if something nefarious happened, that would really put me into the comfort zone. Because that's what I'm used to dealing with, you see. I am a paladin of the oath of sovereignty.
Ah, a good man, I see.
Yes. And a good man needs evil to smite with his shield.
It is precisely that sovereignty that I think might be taken from people tonight. Listen, Vaskir, I am concerned that there is an individual, perhaps multiple individuals I've been tracking for quite some time, who are here to disrupt this event this evening. And I am looking for some folks to help me protect this museum in this evening.
Truly? What is it that you do as your profession, sir?
Well, I am an astronomer. Like all great minds these days, we have discovered everything there is to discover on this earth. So we look to the stars to discover and learn more. So I have been studying these signs for quite some time, and well, quite frankly, much of this work that the curator tribe has completed was with some of my help, and I'm a special guest of hers. And there was an individual, his name is Marcus, and he was around with many of our academic exploits, and he just has just the worst vibes. Just terrible vibes.
Bad vibes. I cannot stomach that.
It is as if the stars aligned and he reached up and broke them. Do you understand what I mean?
That sounds most dire.
Truly. truly it is. I am concerned that he will destroy this event. But I have yet to see him at the party, and so I am concerned. Have you heard of this Marcus before?
I have, although, and he is the same individual that we are watching out for tonight. We have reason to also believe that he might be here and cause some mischief or spread more bad vibes.
There are few things that you can bring to a party like bad vibes that will kill it. I heard you say we, my friend. Do you have others, comrades with you that are helping you this evening?
Why, yes. So Vaskir is a very straightforward person. He has no reason to, suspect anything else. So he points to Friar Tim and to Tura and Goethe very clearly, and then waves at them and beckons them over.
So Friar Tim has been close to Vaskir because they're able to communicate. I want to assume that he's been listening to this because he sees Vaskir's kind of he doesn't seem to be very suspicious, and I would like to roll an insight check on this guy. If that's okay.
Yeah, please do.
Because one of the things that Tim's been thinking of is if I were Marcus, I would definitely use magic to disguise myself here. And so if this guy could be Marcus.
Okay.
So
absolutely. So we're trying to check on authenticity. We're trying to see how this guy feels. And remind me, you have some sort of ability where when you touch things, it reveals magic. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I could shake his hand.
I assume you do.
Yes. Is there a little hum of vibration there from magic?
Maybe. What was your insight check?
It was only 10.
Only 10?
Yeah.
I do not think that I do not think that he is a very difficult man to read.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of has that dad at a baseball game feel to him. Is kind of the vibes that he gives off. But with a 10, it's kind of hard to tell if that's a front or not. When you shake his hand, he does not have any vibrations. There's nothing there where you touch the magic, it feels anything. It doesn't appear. And you would know because that's your zodiac thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much a foolproof way to tell if someone is disguised via illusion magic or anything like that, or shapeshifted. That would normally go off for you. So when you shake his hand, you realize that it's very clear that he's not under any sort of magical effect to change his appearance.
Okay. Good.
I want to jump into where Friar Tim joins this conversation as soon as we do the tour and Friar Tim stuff. So the two of you were off looking around and touching things and looking at more stuff. Let's start with Tura. Is there anything specific you were looking for outside of just arcane stuff? And obviously keep an eye out for Marcus.
So the runes, Marcus, and then she just likes magic and mechanical devices anyway.
Sure.
So less on the people, more on the environment.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so so go ahead and give me let's do a perception check this time. It just is more of a cursory glance of what's going on. And then Friar Tim, can you give me a description of what you're trying to do this is before you joined the conversation, but as you were walking around?
Well, now that I've thought about it a little bit, he has advantage on charisma checks right now. The elfish priestly cloak does that as well. So he's super charming. It's also his strongest stat. So he's just going to be going around and literally glad handing people, where he puts his hand on people's shoulders and said, wonderful evening, isn't it? Thank you. Oh, it's good to see you. And just passing by, touching everyone in a way that just seems natural and friendly. And what he's doing though is looking for a magical disguise, just to see if someone vibrates with an illusion.
Yeah, absolutely. So and that makes a lot of sense. Now, so as you're going through, what you discover, Friar Tim, is that it's kind of hard to tell.
Mm.
And so this you're very successful glad handing people, going around talking to folks, touching base with everybody. You get a really good sense of the room. But unfortunately, there's a lot of rich people here with a lot of money.
Mhm.
Some of them are just using illusion to do their makeup.
Sure.
Others are just embellishing with prestidigitation and things like that, other magical effects. And
Sure.
I would say 1 out of every 3 people that you shake their hand, they have some sort of illusionary effect. And so
Mhm.
with the limitations of simply knowing it's magic or not, it's kind of hard to tell if anyone is shape changed or not.
Okay, so he'd have to add a little insight check to each of those. When there's a magic, he'll like give them a second look and just see if he can tell if the person's really sweaty, because they're nervous, or if they have bad vibes coming off of them.
Absolutely. Give me now that this is a difficult thing to do. Because there's so many people that you're glad-handed. But give me an insight check, and while we get that detour, what'd you get for your perception?
17. So better.
17.
Nice.
That's very good. Very, very good. So over time, there are two things I want to point out to you as you're searching around and looking for all those things. The first one is that in this area, there seem to be a lot of like imitation creatures. You can see like taxidermy dire wolves and large brown bears. Each of them has like a little plaque that has an inscription named to the adventurer and the town they saved. And it's really Sparrowhawk information where they pulled out these adventurers. And this is information about the great deeds of the heroes of Aroria, and it's all tied to the signs they have themselves. Notably, you do also find the exhibit for Craigus Brightscale, and on there is a plaque that states adventuring. It says found on the suspected grave of Craigus Brightscale. And on there are 3 items, one of which is this large kind of flail-looking maul. It has this iron inlay around the handle and this chain that comes off that literally has ice growing off of it, like these little icicles that comes off. At the top, there is this huge star that's made of just pure copper, and it kind of looks like dragon scales at the top, as if someone took like shedded dragon scales and melded them together to make it like a dragon scale maul at the end. The second item is this giant great axe, and it's probably about 6 feet in length. And you can see that there's actually like a cloth underneath the blade, which is just sinister and black all the way through, veined with red, and there's these cutouts in the top so it swings more swiftly. And the blade itself bleeds blood. And so there's like this cloth underneath that is continually getting soaked up. And I would imagine there's this cloth underneath, and I would imagine with the 17 that somewhat you would notice that at some point someone comes over, pulls out a key from underneath,
disgusting,
unlocks it, unlocks the gate, opens it up, switches out the cloth, closes it back, locks it back, puts the key back underneath.
Oh man, that is
Look, maybe the axe just saw a really cute sword and got nervous.
Yeah, maybe. And the third item that's found is there's a softball sized uncut gemstone that's purple veined with gold, and you would recognize this as meridium. For our audience and those who are not familiar with Aroria, meridium is the primary export of Aroria. It is an innately magical ore of transmutative magic. Mainly what it does is it allows you to transmute one object into another. That's its primary function. It aids with things like blacksmithing and construction and building and things like that. So if you touch one piece of meridium to, like, let's say steel, and then you touch it to or you take meridium, you touch it to, let's say, sand, you touch that to iron, the iron becomes sand, and in time it returns back to steel. So you could manipulate the sand instead, and then you don't have to worry about changing the steel around. So it's much easier to create weapons and armor and things like that. It's incredibly rare to see pieces of this size, and something like this has values up above 50,000 gold pieces or more. These sorts of things are considered very rare magical items.
Just sitting out. I mean, I guess behind the keep, but
right now it appears to be a glass case that is currently locked, but it is there. And then Friar Tim, the screen is falling.
How embarrassing!
I just noticed. Oh, that's so neat.
It fell like so slowly. Amazing.
Oh, I love this green screen.
That's such a fun effect.
It's the best.
There is a moment there, Datura, as you're looking at all this, if you want to reflect on any of that before you find Friar Tim and we get his insight check.
I mean, she's gonna like steady them sort of through the glass, like look really good, but then she'll go to join the others.
Cool.
It's not like dragons are her weakness or anything.
So Friar Tim, as Datura is approaching you and you're all coming up to meet with Vaskier over here, what was your insight check?
17.
17? That's pretty good. You do not see anyone that appears nefarious at this time.
Okay.
There's nothing in that sense, not in this building right now. But you know that there's a lot of people who have a lot of magic. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on. With a 17, you get a good look at the people who are magical, and you can feel pretty confident. But you meet up with Datura as you're both heading over towards Vaskier.
Any luck, Datura?
Well, there are artifacts that seem like they would be something that somebody might want to steal or interfere with, but I don't know that they have any particular connection to Marcus. But she'll point it out where the display case is. It's worth keeping an eye on them, I think.
And did you look at the water in the vial? That was another thing I noticed earlier. I haven't looked at it yet. Did you see that, Datura? There's a liquid. I'd point over at it. I wonder what that is. We maybe should look there. But Vaskier is getting into trouble over here, I notice.
Datura, with your perception check, you would have at least walked by it. All it says is all that it says on there is water from the well of Oracle of Frostwing.
Oh, okay.
That's all the plaque says.
All right.
With that, you come over, and the two of you meet up with Vaskier, and you meet our friend who shakes your hand for our Texas. Yes, these are our friends. Yes.
Yes. We're the ones who are looking out for Marcus.
Well met, sir.
Yes, I am Bridget. Look, I don't want if all of you are willing, I'd like to partner with all of you in search of clues. And perhaps together we can solve this case. And all of a sudden, his words are cut off as all of you are there, and over the loudspeaker coming into the room, you hear a voice. It says, "Esteemed guest, please do not be alarmed.
I'm alarmed.
Will Curator Tiber please report to the Stars of Aroria exhibit? There is a small issue, And before more can be said, someone bursts out of the pathway that leads back to where the exhibit is, and that leads further in, screaming as that large creature that was in the middle of the exhibit starts to come to life and starts chasing him where all of you are. So you're over there, Goethe, like just mixing up drinks. All of a sudden, this creature bursts into the space, the one that were here. Many of the taxidermy animals start to come to life, and cries erupt from all around, surrounding all of you as the doors burst open.
Well, who could have seen that coming?
Yeah, Basquiat shoots a quick glance to Britain. Is that was his name?
Bridgen.
Like
okay.
Like Bridgen, like Bridgerton without the.
I don't. How do we feel about cursing on this show? I don't know.
One
like
F-bomb per game.
Yeah,
it's like bitchin', but Bridgen.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's how I initially heard it too. I'm like, that's a Bridgen name.
Bridgen name. I would say, Dirta, you noticed this before anyone else does, because you've been very prevalent this whole time, and you've been looking dedicated to finding Marcus. Amid all this chaos, as everything starts falling in, you see Marcus running, holding what appears to be the microphone. You recognize that is his voice, running further in. And he seems to be holding some sort of tablet that has an arcane sigil, and he's running like this with it, heading further into that. And as the artifacts come up.
Uh-huh.
All right. I say we go after him.
I agree. After the fiend.
All of these innocent people here, are they fleeing or are they trapped? Do they seem like they're in danger?
There are many of these. So, yes, many of them are in danger. Many of them are in danger. There is a lot into it. We're about to enter into a skills challenge to resolve this issue. So, yes, we can probably help many of these people, and we'll figure out what you all want to do with this. So, let's see. So, coming to life, there's this large, looming, predatorial creature. There are dire bears and the taxidermy things you saw before. Dirta, like Datura, moving around and coming to life, and there are people who are not safe and all that kind of stuff. So, but we have Marcus, who's run further into the exhibit, which is where you had the encounter with the Swindle Twins and everything else before.
Do I have time to cast a spell? Before he disappears?
Yes, everyone, if you want to do one thing, one action before we get started, we'll get that started. So, anything y'all want to do?
Okay.
What is the largest creature, like the one that would threaten the most people? Is it that dino?
By far, it's the large skeletal predator of some kind. It looks like it's probably some sort of aberration. Maybe like, it might even be like oceanic in nature. It's got like large rib cages. It's hard to tell what the legs are, what is a leg and what's not.
Remember that you're utterly fearless.
Yes, exactly. Compel duel that creature and then run towards Marcus.
Okay.
Ooh, interesting.
Duel. That's a wisdom save for this creature, right?
Yep, wisdom save 14 is the DC.
Okay. I don't think it has modifiers, but that's an 8. So it loves you, or it wants to.
Yep, it's drawn towards me. It has disadvantage on attack rolls against anyone else besides me. It can make a wisdom saving throw each time it attempts to move to a space that is more than 30 feet away from me. If it succeeds, it can. If it does not succeed, every time it tries to move further away from me, it has to move closer to me each time.
Yeah, so it totally failed. So are you kind of moving towards it, like a very heroic situation?
I think he's going to try to go towards where Marcus fled. He's going to try to essentially draw this creature away from the crowd and towards Marcus.
Love it. So heading that direction, all this coming out there's this very horrible creak as whatever like bolts and wires they use to hold this thing together to suspend it all of those things break as the head turns. It kind of slithers like a snake almost. Very unnatural as it turns towards you, Baskier.
Have a good time, Paladin.
Thank you, Goethe.
All right, what about the rest of you? Anything else before we get started?
Yeah, I'm just gonna shout and try and get people to flee.
Okay.
We're out of drinks. We ran out of rum. The rum is gone. The rum is gone. Out of the way. Out of the way.
Persuasion with advantage. Persuasion with advantage, real quick.
All right, here we go.
It's like the rum is gone. Well, there's no reason to be here anymore.
I only got a 12, unfortunately.
It is mildly effective.
Okay.
Most of them are more concerned about the giant creatures coming to attack them. They're not that worried about the rum at this moment. But some of them are like, well, I guess we can go now.
Yep, time to go. Time to go. Out of the way. Why aren't you listening to me?
I know, Friar Tim, you asked to do something. What was it?
Yeah, it's a long shot, but
Please do it.
How far away is Marcus?
Marcus, at this point, he has made his way through the magical door that dimensions into another pocket.
Oh,
dimension.
I can't cast on him before he gets there.
What you want to try?
Whole person.
Whole person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the range on whole person? I forget.
60 feet.
I think you would have been farther away than that.
Could I move into position and like run at him and cast it 30 feet, 90 feet total?
I'm gonna say no. And here's why.
Okay.
Two reasons. Number one, I think the tour saw him burst and then let all of you know.
Okay.
And so I don't know if there would have been time to react that quickly.
Got
Secondly, there's also a whole bunch of animated creatures that would probably prevent your movement forward to that. And I think he was farther away than that to the start.
Got
so
it.
I'm gonna say that isn't quite close.
Okay. Well, I will at least use a Misty Step to get 30 feet closer, and then use my full move dash to just pursue him. I have no intention of fighting these creatures.
That will certainly help as we get to this. And then, Datura, is there anything you want to do before we get started?
So the creatures, there's a bunch of them, and Baskier, the one that he's sort of drawing to him, that's the biggest. Is that correct? Or is there another big one? Okay.
Yes, that is the biggest one. I would say that probably the second biggest creature in this group is probably there's an Allosaurus. Like there's an Allosaurus.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang!
So it's a pretty big kind of dinosaur. But it's very clearly taxidermied, and you might even recognize it as not original, like someone fabricated it. As in someone did their very best to paper mache one, but that's probably the next biggest creature.
Okay, well, even better, because what she's going to do is she's going to cast Shatter, and that's a 10-foot radius sphere. So she wants something big enough that she casts it in the center, and so it's just getting that creature. And it works better on inorganic stone, crystal, metal materials, so hopefully it'll shatter it more because it's got the non-organic materials in it.
Perfect, and that will absolutely be super effective on this thing. I love it. I love it.
Super smart.
All right, real quick, let's roll initiative.
Wicked smart.
Actually, that's actually going to be super great for that in this particular scenario, because like everything is like that. All right, so here's how this is going to work. We know that we're chasing after Marcus. I think it's fair to assume with the arcane sigil that he was carrying and holding that he had activated, that's probably the source of this animated issue. It's going to be that's our source. That's where we're going for. We're trying to get to Marcus to shut that down, right? Is what we're trying to do to save all these people out here. So what we're going to need is we're all trying to move that way, trying to save people, work through this situation in the way you all see fit. You all tell me what you're doing. We'll make some checks. You'll need 3 successes to get out of the door. For every failure, take a little bit of damage, right? So let's get started. Initiatives 25 to 20.
9.
No, 25 is 20.
Oh,
15
you said 25 to 20. Oops.
25 20. Nothing. 15 to 20. We're amazing initiative. All right, 10 to 15. 10 to 15.
13.
11.
Nice.
13 for Gerta and 11 for Tatura.
Also 11 for Tim. He has no dex bonus.
Then we'll let Tatura go first. Because I know Tatura has at least a +1. And then we will wrap up with Baskir with a 9. Alrighty. So, Gerta, you are up first. You have talked to people. You mildly convinced people because the rum is gone. There's no reason to be here. It is the start of your turn, and you are faced with 2 flying swords appear right in front of you. Now there are probably 3 or 4 people in your general vicinity because you were already right there. People are running away, but there are 2 flying swords that have also appeared with you that are blocking your path. You're running into that hiccup here. What do you want to do?
Okay, I'm gonna try, and because my movement is enhanced by having this feathery suit, and I have cunning action, so I can, disengage and or move extra. So I think that if I disengage and move, take a double move with the dash, I can move 70 feet. Okay, so my goal here is to just distract the swords, leap past them, and run toward Marcus.
Okay, very cool. That makes
probably
sense.
acrobatics is what I'm thinking.
You're thinking acrobatics. Now are you also trying to make sure that these swords, you're getting into position where they would look at you and not attack the people around you, and you're kind of distract them as you're moving through? Or are you just trying to get around them?
No, I will try and get the attention of the swords to come after me rather than the people.
Yeah, give these people an extra second to escape, but it's very heroic, and you pull through, kind of action, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm throwing rum bottles at the swords like, hey.
Yeah, you are ideally built for this. It's going to be a pretty easy check for you. Give me acrobatics, and because of the cunning action you're adding, roll it with advantage. This is going to be pretty easy too.
19.
19. Okay. All right.
I think I had advantage. My first roll was a 1. That would have been funny. Whew.
So successfully, the feathers come out, there you are. You're like a gnome, right? You said?
Yep.
So bartender, feathers out, Mockingjay moving through. You're able to maybe give a little twist around. The swords trying to slice at you. No issue getting through that without a problem. And there you are going. Now you are gliding and kind of like swerving along the ground, moving and getting quickly and heading towards that. You feel like you're getting great distance on this roll, and that's a good time. Dirta, now you have expended a 2nd level spell Shatter on this creature. So this massive Allosaurus, right, is a creature that's coming out, and you've targeted it specifically. Now I'm gonna present the Allosaurus coming at you, maybe as it is sitting there looking at other people. It's a massive beast swinging around. There are other creatures like tigers and lions and other things as well, but the Shatter is absolutely going to burst these things into nothing. Tell me what happens as you succeed with this. I don't even need a roll from you because you did the spell slot. You're gonna get a success here. Tell me how this works and what does this look like for Tatura?
I was assuming the Allosaurus was between her and the hallway that Marcus disappeared down.
Yes.
Okay, so it shatters, and as it does, she jumps into the air because since she's a Satyr-son, she can do the double jump height.
Yeah.
And so she sort of leaps to clear it, and probably she can't go like quite that far, but she's gonna do like a kind of acrobatics kind of thing to like land neatly between debris and then do another leap. So she's not Legolas anything as far as like running on stuff that's falling, like none of that. But she's definitely like doing like massive jumps to just like deftly sort of go in between the debris as it falls and then head for the corridor.
There is kind of like I love it because there's this kind of like, I don't know, it's probably pretty, as this Allosaurus explodes with stuffing, and same thing with the tigers and lions, and it kind of looks like new fallen snow among the stars and the other description, the whole thing. As you're jumping through and moving on, it's like imagine a rabbit running through like a new fallen snow. It's there's a little bit of prettiness to it, but more importantly, everyone who was under threat of this massive Allosaurus is no longer, and you can see that the pieces of this thing that you have shattered, like the head is still moving. The head is still biting. Obviously, it's not a threat to anyone anymore. But the tail's waggling around, and a few of these things, and that zombie effect with the hand crawls, right? You're getting those sorts of things. But successfully, you start making your way to Marcus. You shatter this whole thing out, and you are good to go. Okay. Now, all right, that'll bring us around to Friar Tim. Friar Tim, you also Misty stepped and made it there. So you expended a spell slot to do this as well. So you were also going to succeed on this first one without a roll on this. So tell me what this looks like as you're chasing down Marcus and you're moving through, and what's going through Friar Tim's head as he uses everything he can to go as fast as possible in this first turn.
First of all, his Tim's first thought was when he saw Marcus hugging this tablet with some arcane stuff on it, was that he was stealing it. But is it I'm not sure he knows that it was the cause of animating things. Okay. Had he seen it around, like displayed or something before all the mayhem broke loose, or was this like, or would he conclude, nah, Marcus brought this with him?
Go ahead and give me a religion check.
Religion check, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for a priest, that's kind of funny. He's got a -1. 12.
12. With a 12, I don't know if you would have seen it around, but for a priest, you're proficient in religion, yes?
No.
You know what? I still think with a 12 at this level, there are certain magics and certain signs that are associated with various schools of magic as well. Many of them have rulerships and things like that. One of the signs that's traditionally associated with transmutative, or what is it, the animate objects ones, I think it's transmutation, unless I'm lost in mind. One of those is associated with Duskworn, which is Scorpio, and so that this particular tablet probably had the Duskworn symbol on it, and I think you would have recognized that. So it would make sense for Friar Tim to think that Marcus probably stole it from the exhibit and is using it now. He probably got it from here. Okay,
so Tim's objective is to get within 60 feet of him and see if he can hit him with a hold person. I mean, It's going to be like 50-50. He's got a very... Friar Tim put all his work into being charming and not so much into being wise. He's that kind of priest. Really good at like leading a congregation, but not always the best at advice and things. Sure. Right. So his DC is 12. His spell save DC. That's his intention. Can he get within 60 feet if all he's doing is...
So with your first step to Misty Step over there, and then your full movement to get close to it, I would say you're probably within 60 feet of the door. But at this point, Marcus has already passed through it.
Okay. So I can't see him?
So at this point, you can't see Marcus.
Okay.
He's actually... That room's actually in a whole nother pocket dimension that you've been into before.
Right.
So as soon as he passed through that, it was like, he's gone.
Okay, so
you know where he is, and you're running towards him, but he's not visible this time.
Okay, so then I'm just gonna full move to get through that door, and he's gonna do a sort of second base slide into that room, so that if he's just imagining Marcus standing on the other side with a baseball bat ready to swing at him as he comes through the door. So he wants to slide under that swing. And,
Perfect.
He's not the best at acrobatics, but maybe he won't fall on his face.
Well, you have successfully made your way over there and with the Misty Step. So you're on your way and you're running, and you're very close. I think we got to get to 3 checks successful for you.
Okay.
But you are getting as close as you can right now. So that is very good.
Right.
All right. So that'll end your turn. Vaskir, what are you doing? I know you have got this whole massive creature's turned attention to you. What would you like to do?
Yeah, so he's trying to lure it away from the rest of the group and then pursue the direction that Marcus went. So every time it takes like 5 steps towards him, he moves like 5 steps, towards Marcus. Also, did you have a picture in Roll20, you said, of this creature?
Yes. So let me switch back to the other page. So this was can you see this? It looks like a large creature in a room.
The page has not changed for me. Did you move the tab?
Yeah, move the tab up top.
I'll try reading.
How do I activate it for all of you? In Roll20. If I change the page.
It's dynamic lighting on.
So when you go to the different maps, there should be like a little bookmark at the top of it, and that's the page that we're all seeing. And
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Also,
got it. There we go. Does that work?
Yes. There it is.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's the creature that's coming at you. That you are facing.
Well. So, yeah, I think he just continues to lure it away, and unless it catches up to him, he will just use his entire movement on getting towards Marcus and dodging.
Okay, it's between you and the way out, like to where Marcus is. So
Okay.
you'll have to move kind of through its space. As you do that, I think because you're fighting it, it's focused on you, and all that kind of stuff. I would imagine it's probably going to try to attack you, and in so doing, the people around you are trying to move out and get that stuff. Let's say it's going to try to hit you as you're running through it.
Yeah, so full dodge, running through it, try to slide under the legs.
Perfect. Does a 8 hit?
It does not.
All right. So tell me what this looks like as you successfully move through this creature's space, surviving this leg of the success by moving underneath it as it tries to slide at you. What's happening, and what's happening for Vaskir is he's keeping this creature's attention away from everything else.
Yeah, so I think Vaskir is like gazing up at it the whole time, like meeting its gaze, eyes locked, with his shield up. He charges towards it, and as he goes underneath the creature brings its arms down to attack him, and he lifts his shield over his head to block it as he goes down on his knees and slides through the legs. And on the other side, he flips. He does like a little 180 flip, so he's facing the right way, and then continues to run through.
Cool. Now that compelled duel, do I have to make another wisdom save at the end of the turn or no?
Every time it tries to move further than 30 feet away from me, I'll put the description in our chat.
Yeah, I think it's totally gonna keep attacking you if it can. All right, that brings us around to let's see, that's the end of the round. Everybody's successful. We spent a lot of stuff on spells, so that's a good thing. So Goethe, back around to you, and no hampers this time, so you're good. So you're in this space. You can see all your friends moving. Everyone is sprinting as quickly as you can. You're kind of gliding around, and you've got space. What are
like a flying squirrel.
Perfect. As we continue to move through this, what are you doing trying to get closer?
Okay, well, I see an opportunity, so I'm gonna swoop down and try and I think tackle is the wrong word. but like land on top of Marcus and like disrupt what he's doing if possible. Jar the book loose from his arms, something like that. Can I do that?
That would
or
be
is
ideal.
He still out of my way?
That would be ideal if Marcus hadn't already gone through the door.
All right. Well, I'm going out the door then.
Go ahead and give me an initiative check to just straight initiative or dexterity to catch up, to keep running through this and getting through all this space.
Oh, I rolled a natural 20. I got a 23.
That's that natural 20. That'll count as natural 20 will count as 2 successes. So Goethe, you succeed on this entire challenge as you make your way through, and you are so fast. Like, you're not used to being the fastest, but here you are.
I have short little legs.
There's something about the glide and the skip. You got these huge strides, and you're used to moving your feet fast, but now you got like normal strides, and here you are, natural 22 successes, and you're out. Datura, you are hampered, unfortunately. Let's see what is coming to find you. Oh, nothing crazy. It is a set of armor. At first you think it might think it was fast gear. This huge plate animated armor comes out. It starts barreling towards you. What do you do as you try to overcome this obstacle and continue on?
Gonna save my spells because I don't have that many. And she's feeling pretty dexterous. So she's gonna do. I think some kind of acrobatics. She would love to jump over top of it.
I think that's certainly possible. You can do athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Acrobatics would be the one that she would be better at. So
because specifically with the Satyr's Son, race that we have here, you've got this built-in leaping ability, so the height's not going to be a problem for you. It's maybe avoiding slash as it goes over the top. So what's that acrobatics check?
Okay, that is 16.
16. That will count as success. What does this look like as you jump over this creature?
So it is going to be the slash that's going to be that she has to think about, because she sort of starts going into like just a regular old jump, sort of like bounding like normal, but then it's like reaching up for her. So she actually sort of like twists in the air so that she ends up, rather than landing on her feet, she lands in a roll because she's twisted out of the way of the slash.
And as you hit this slide, when you hit the marble floor, you almost slide a little bit on it as well, and it's very elegant as you almost slide up and land on your feet and move over. Very, very cool. And you find that you were only one success away from getting through that door and finding Marcus.
That's why she has leggings, so don't worry about the skirt.
There we go. Friar Tim.
Yep.
You are hampered. You are hampered as well.
Hampered.
Yes. Yes. And
not as good as pampered.
Not quite. Friar Tim, as you are moving as quickly as anyone right now. Like the misty step, the speed, the running. It's like your whole candle's about to go out because you're running so fast. But as you're doing so, lumbering out from a coffin is a mummy, and it reaches over and it grabs you over the top and tries. You know how they do. What do you do to overcome this?
All right. So Tim has 2 Misty Steps. One that is a spell, and one that is he gets once a day. He already used the once a day one. He's gonna use a spell one for this very purpose. It's like because he's not very strong. He's not very agile, but he can vanish. So he's just going to vanish his bad self through that door into the next room and let this mummy grapple the air.
So as the mummy comes around, it goes to grab you, and as it does, it just arms crossed, misses everything. You misty step and keep running. I'm actually gonna say, because that's one spell and a once per day feature you've used. I don't think you need to roll anything for this.
Okay.
But I'm actually gonna give you an extra success for this because that's a lot of capital to expend. So that'll give you 3 successes, and as you do, you break through the door.
Awesome.
And you find yourself with Goethe.
Can we say that the mummy dislocated its shoulders too when it grasped the air?
Absolutely.
Just popped both of its shoulders out and went. Okay.
Hanging on by a couple bandages.
They just now it walks around like this.
It's gonna have to swing its arms at people like this. What's Marcus up to in this room?
Let's get everybody out.
Okay.
And then we're gonna
Gotcha.
get everybody out, and then we're gonna break, and then we're gonna
Okay.
find out. But yeah, so you break through, successful with the challenge. Vaskir, let's see if you hamper. You do. Not only is this giant thing coming after you, making things difficult in your life, but now you are surrounded. This large predator-like creature like skeleton-ish creature is tracking you and running at you as often as he can as you're moving that way and keeping these things distracted. You back up into a dire bear, and you look up, and there is a brown dire bear looking down at you, ready to rip you from the inside out.
Bad
What do you do?
vibes.
The worst vibes.
So this dire bear looks like it's taxidermied.
It absolutely is. When you hit it, it's soft and cuddly.
Hug it.
I think it wants to do more than hug me, but this bone creature looks like. So part of Vaskir's thought is that this bone creature might be a valuable exhibit. So he's not quite sure if he wants to try to destroy it versus restrain it in some way. But do the bones look like they're real, priceless artifacts?
I think it's hard to tell in this moment. Give me a. You can do Arcana. I would do Arcana check.
Okay. Ooh, 19.
19. The bear looks like any old dire bear, right? It's just taxidermy. The creature does look like it's real.
Okay.
Like that is a fossilized creature that some archaeologists dug up and brought here. So that's something that's valuable, but right now it's killing people or trying to. So, I don't think anyone's gonna be mad if you disable it.
Okay. He doesn't really have anything to disable that, but he will turn around then and try to hit the dire bear with his
Okay.
warhammer.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
14.
14, not a problem. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
That's going to be 5 damage.
It's not that big. It's a taxidermy dire bear. There's nothing underneath, right? So what weapon are you wielding? What do you have?
Warhammer.
Warhammer. So the warhammer comes through this chest, and it's like hitting a pillow, just, and it just kind of explodes. All the seams break, and the whole thing just falls to the ground, essentially freeing you from its grasp. The creature is going to take another attack roll at you. Does a 16 hit? No. So as this is happening, as you turn around, you smash into the warhammer. You split this creature open. You are successful on your check to do that. Then the large bone-like creature comes down and tries to smash your armor with like a bone spike, and it just skits off. You can feel it hit you, but no damage, no nothing.
Yeah, and then he will continue to use his movement to stay within 30 feet of this while trying to lure it towards Marcus.
Perfect, and that works that goes off without a hitch as you move forward. Datura, or so Goethe, you're out the door. Friar Tim's out the door. Datura, you are not hampered. All that is left for you to do is run out the door.
Running straight there.
Gone out, quickly, swiftly. After jumping over this animated suit of armor, and you're gone. Vaskir, you suddenly find yourself alone with all of these creatures and no hamper. And nothing to hamper you. All that's really left for you to do is that you have two options here. There is the large creature you have compelled duel that is focused on you this entire time, and that has saved many hospital visits. A lot of people who would have gone to the emergency room with dislocated shoulders or cuts or bruises will not because of you. And all that's left is for you to decide if you're going to do anything to disable this creature or if you're just going to get out of here.
Okay, so because he is a shield master, I can use my bonus action to try to bash him with my shield and essentially knock it prone if it is a large creature. So is it technically only large?
It's pretty big. I think that mechanically it would be large because it's not going to have the same mass as something else like that. And more importantly, it's not held together by anything fibrous or anything like that. So I think it would be technically considered large.
Okay.
So I think you could definitely do that.
Okay, let's go for it. Athletics versus athletics or acrobatics of the creature.
Let's do it. Creature roll a 4.
15! Okay.
Yeah!
Yeah.
So just what's going to happen here? Something's going to happen with this creature's legs and the way it's put together. Maybe you don't damage it, but it's definitely going to be disabled in a way that maybe it can't move forward, going forward. So what happens here, Vaskir, is you disable this creature and then get out.
Yeah, I'm also willing to use my 3rd level Oath of Sovereignty feature, my Channel Divinity feature, which is Shackles of Laithless. Is that how you pronounce that?
I say Lethysis or Lethysis.
Lethysis. Okay.
Yeah.
So
you don't have to do that though.
Okay.
You don't need to do that unless you just want to. Unless it works for your flavor.
I will save it for Marcus then. Let's go.
Okay. All right. So you coming around, Vaskir. Shield bash to the leg, as it does, it just shatters the whole kneecap, and that messes with the entirety of the structure of this creature, and it falls to the ground. And it's almost like it's kind of like walking around, like it's that one wheel missing. It just can't get to anything else as it tries to move around the space. It's not a smart creature. It's animated by magic. It's just doing its best, which is not good enough to hurt anything anymore. And with that success, you break through that door. And all of you are moved into this extra-dimensional space, which right now is very... Go ahead.
If there is a curator, like, on the way out, he wants to, like, look this curator in the eyes and then yell, "Mending is a cantrip!" and then, like, keep running.
That I'm sure that is very comforting to many of the people who have put this together. It is notable to point out that none of you have seen Curator Triber tonight. And this is her event. But as we all break into that nearly simultaneously, or I think our Gerta and Friar Tim were 1 and 2 right there. But as we all break into this extra-dimensional space, I think it's wise that we take a small break right here. We're about an hour and a half in. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll get into the last part of this adventure. So, how long do we usually break for? About 10 minutes or so?
Yeah, 10 minutes. Yep.
10 minutes. Good. That is a funky creature. That is
it's cool.
Weird looking.
Okay, so we'll see you all in 10.
All right, 10 minutes.
Be back in a bit.
Go away. And we're back. During the break, one of our guest players, Amanda Cherry, brought me this box of cookies to get me through Extra Life. So
you're so lucky.
Yeah.
Where's our cookies?
Stephen only lives like half a mile or a mile from my house, so we could share some cookies, buddy.
No. This is a new fundraiser suddenly. You must eat all those cookies by the time we end stream. You've got 12 hours to finish them all.
There are literally 40 cookies in this box.
Oh my god.
It sounds like you got your work cut out for you.
Yeah.
Amanda also brought by the first copies of our book that's coming out in the middle of November, Femmes Fatale, about these two former supervillain ladies. Well, one of them's a current supervillain, and we should make that clear, who team up on shenanigans, and it is pretty awesome. So
Cool.
pre-orders are available now. It comes out on the 14th or 15th. And I'm going to hand it over to Yang to talk about the Extra Life stuff that we are currently participating in. Yes,
Yay.
Go ahead, Yang.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I know you're here for the stream, because we're awesome. We're playing a cool game with our friend from Daniel Hodges from over in Lincoln Liar, but Ink and Liar. But also, we're here to support Children's Miracle Network hospitals via Extra Life. So thank you so much so far to all of you who've already donated. Especially thank you to Deckard Kane Sender for donating and buying one of Erin's special charity packages, which is a copy of her Empire of Exiles book that is signed, all the pre-order goodies plus an exclusive t-shirt. So we're just a little over 1/3 of our goal, and we still got like 9 hours to go, so plenty of time. But please take a look at those incentives if you haven't, and consider supporting our fundraiser. And also, Justin, anybody who wants Eric to eat a cookie on stream, drop a donation, include that in the comments. He's got 40 cookies to go. You could do it, buddy.
It's a lot.
Bring on that milk. You could do it. All right.
So many cookies.
Yeah, all cookies for Eric, no cookies for the rest of us. So yeah,
I asked her why she made so many cookies, and she said, well, that's how many the recipe produced. And I was like, what was the recipe? Oh my god. My entire bag of sugar? I don't know.
I don't know why, but I think Goethe is going to get disadvantaged for the rest of the session.
You want me to mail you some of these cookies, Daniel? I will.
From a lack of cookie share.
Yes.
Oh shit.
I don't think it'll DoorDash here in time.
Drop your address in the chat. I'll order you something.
Okay. Are we ready? Are we ready to get back into it?
Yes,
Ready to go,
sir.
yeah.
All right. So we have fashioned up. We have gone to the exhibit. We have looked for and searched for clues, and we found out some more information about the stars and the signs and Aroria's history. And we were searching for Marcus, and he was discovered running through this doorway, which heads into a pocket dimension of some kind. And we all followed and chased him into the darkness. And as you all step through, one at a time, it's Goethe first, then followed by Friar Tim, then Datura and Vasquir at the end, after saving as many people as he could. You step forward and you break into this area, and you hear the faint laughter of Marcus somewhere in the darkness before it cuts out. And as you step forward, the corridors, much like the other pocket dimensions and the other places you had been to in this exhibit before, they begin to swirl and distort. And the sounds that you have behind you completely fade as you enter from one dimension into the next. And you are in total darkness. How many of us have dark vision?
I have improved dark vision, which allows me to see in magical darkness as if it were dim light.
No dark vision, but I do have blind fighting. I'm ready.
Ooh.
So
I do have dark
like,
vision. Yes. Okay.
So we got 3 people, or we got 2 people with dark vision, one who doesn't even see darkness. There is no darkness in Friar Tim's life. And like Friar Tim's just always light all the time. And then we have Vaskir, who is sword ready, ready to fight all the time. Can't see anything.
Oh, so would the mental link with Friar Tim allow Vaskir to understand what's around him, or is it sort of only verbal communication via that link?
I don't know. How good of friends are you? Do you think you and Friar Tim are close?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Friar and the Paladin, it's like is a perfect duo, perfect
We've
match.
shared a few meals.
Right? Yes, I've been inside his belt buckle a few times.
Yeah. I think it's perfectly reasonable, and I think it's perfectly reasonable and appropriate with the lore that connection to specific Celesta set would increase over time. I think it makes a lot of sense that you would get some of Friar Tim's senses and smells and some of the things that he's seeing through that connection. Yeah.
Okay, I'm relying on you, Tim. Thank you.
Does
Friar Tim, go ahead.
Datura see in the dark vision?
Yeah, dark vision, because she's faithful.
Friar Tim, you see it first. In this room, there's darkness, and there are corridors that go back and forth all over the place, and they are constantly changing. For others of you that are with dark vision, where you see these shades of gray, it might look a little odd and maybe smoky, but for you, Friar Tim, you see perfectly in this area. And you see one corridor disappear and another appear somewhere else, and it's constantly changing and shifting like clockwork in here. The stone walls that you are in, whatever has happened to your space, is unnatural, labyrinth-like, if you will. And you see one of these doors disappear and open into an arch, probably 15 feet tall, 20 feet wide. And stepping from that space is a stone sphinx-like creature that looks like similar to the one I've put on the Roll20 here. It's kind of smoky. It has a little bit of a twist to it. When it walks, it's silent like a cat would be, but you can see that there are pieces of rocks and gravel that occasionally break off as it's walking towards you. It's clearly made of stone. Kind of has the body language of Scar from The Lion King, sort of thing. And you just hear it say, well. Look, it's what's walked into my trap here. And it kind of like lays down, puts its hands on its legs, on its chin on its hands like this. And Friar Tim, you see underneath there's a collar of sorts, like with a placard, very similar to the ones you saw on where the Krakus' stuff was and the other display items. And it says Sabaset of Sable.
Do I recognize that name?
I think you definitely would. As a religious person, Sabaset of Sable is a librarian who resides in the city of Sable, presides over the library of Frostwane there, and all the divination magic that occurs. That is where the Oracle of Frostwane is. And that temple has a library where prophecies and things are kept, and Sabaset resides over it. This seems to be not Sabaset himself, but a depiction of Sabaset.
Is everyone seeing this?
The rest of you can see it as well. It's just Friar Tim saw it first.
Okay.
Do we have to solve a riddle?
Someone's clever. Maybe that was the first. Who knows? There are riddles 3 that you have to solve before I can let you see Marcus. I know. Tragic.
Do you serve Marcus?
I have to. And like he reaches over a paw and flips it, and there's like an arcane sigil on the back side of the tablet. Puts it back. For now. Really sad, honestly.
What if we set you free?
You can with these riddles 3.
So what riddles 3 might set you free?
It's not too bad. I'm sure you'll all be fine. Come follow me. And he starts slinking the way a cat does towards a empty wall. And there's nothing there. And he goes over and he sits down flat, tail wagging.
Okay, I follow him. Important question. Do you prefer tequila or rum?
Tequila.
Because while you are making us riddle for our lives, you might as well be having a fine drink.
Shouldn't we all? Very wise. See, this is how you succeed. You bribe the judge. Here. And he begins to trace along the wall, and his huge stone claw comes up, and he starts writing into the wall. And he simply says, just answer the riddle, it's simple. And he carves into the wall words, as one does with the riddles. And it says, you're reading on the wall, it says, they arrive every night, whether invited or not. They can be seen but not heard or touched. If one falls, the rest keep moving. What am I?
Can you repeat that one more time, but slower?
They arrive every night, whether invited or not. They can be seen but not heard or touched. If one falls, the rest keep moving. What am I?
Sounds like something shiny. Something glittering in the sky.
Good.
Anyway, here's this tequila sunset that I made for you.
Sabaset reaches over and almost carefully, like the claws that are inlaid into his paws, like barely grab just the notches of it. And he tries to drink the tequila sunset, and it just pours down his mouth. There's no like digestive system there. So he drinks it and like tries to taste it, but it just, and then now he's got stuff all down his front.
At least it's glittering.
It was delicious. Thank you.
Is the answer to your riddle stars?
Obviously.
Nice.
And Sabaset touches the wall. He touches the wall. The whole thing falls.
Hey.
Boom.
Cookies. Does that mean what I think it means? I don't know. Okay. Sabaset pushes the wall, and the whole wall falls over. And I would say, and I think you've all noticed at this point, because many of the walls were appearing and disappearing and things like that. When this wall falls, the corridor stays. And there's something noticeable about what Sabaset has done and advancing us through the maze that is different from the rest of it. And then he begins to saunter through as a creature like Sabaset would do.
This one had a lot of chocolate in it.
That's cookie number 1. That's cookie number 1, Eric. 3? All right. 3 of 40. Let's go.
3 of 40. It's a lot of cookies.
It is a lot
Pushing
of cookies.
through. Pushing through.
40 was an estimate. There might be more.
All right. As you begin to walk through, you make your way down this path, and I assume you all follow Sabaset. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Stalking, slunking through this cavern, Sabaset leads you into another chamber, and there, Sabaset, there appear to be dozens of pillows very similar to what you saw in Mangwin's Magical Mysteries, but these are gold and white, kind of linen, think Arabian kind of style. And Sabaset goes over there and rolls over like on his back and kind of sits over, relaxing. And he says, "All right. So, second test. Are you ready?"
We're ready.
Question. What
Yes.
happens if we get one of these wrong?
Oh, I'll just kill you.
Oh, okay, fair
Okay.
enough. Proceed.
Those are the. You know how these rules work.
I mean, I was just confirming.
Yeah. Well, our lovely satyr friend knew the rules from the beginning. It would be riddles, and now you know you will die. Riddles 3, difference 3. Tell me what is different in this phrase. You find it.
The Sphinx like looks at its paws to read the notes that are scribbled there.
Okay.
I was reading my notes, but now they're blurred by Tequila Sunset.
No, it's like, oh, this is so tough. And like he like just pulls out like a notepad, pulls that out.
Sweaty paws.
If I don't get this one right, some pedant on the internet's going to be upset.
Okay. Does not he pulls. I'm pulling some stuff back. I mix two things together.
Sure,
That's
yeah.
for the next one. Here's
Yep.
this one. From underneath the pillows, Sabaset pulls two paintings
Okay.
and shows them to you. And he says, "Tell me what the difference is." On the left painting, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read the descriptions, and there are three things different in these paintings. You tell me what the three things are different in the descriptions. I'm only gonna read them once.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go slowly, read them once, try to speak clearly, which is not always easy for me, but I'm gonna try my best. So, two descriptions, very similar, three differences. You see a diorama of a lunging saber-toothed tiger attacking a muscular human dressed in all furs. You see the gleaming white fangs of a tiger glittering in the light, and you see the human's wooden club ready to strike. The human has bright blue eyes, and their face is set in a determined grimace as they face their foe. On the other side, you see a diorama of a lunging saber-toothed tiger attacking a muscular human dressed in all furs. You see the gleaming silver fangs of the tiger glittering in the light, and you see the human's sword ready to strike. The human has bright green eyes, and their face is determined grimace as they face their foe. Which three?
Well, human eye color was one that I caught.
Yep.
Green
Sword
versus blue.
Sword versus club is the weapon.
And was also the fang colors? Was it white
Fang
versus
colors
silver?
were different. White versus silver.
Sabaset just throws the paintings. Fine. Should have made these harder.
I'm making you another tequila drink, by the way.
All the
That was
pillows,
delicious.
all the pillows that Sabaset was sitting on fall through the floor, and like
Ooh.
quickly he shifts back around. It's like a cat on his feet.
Are you hungry? Is that what's going on? Would you like a cookie?
Always, yes.
Oh,
Yes, please.
Unfortunately, I don't have any cookies, but I do have more tequila.
Tequila.
We're gonna call this one the tequila cookie.
So Sabaset's drunk now. There's just tequila all down the front of the stone creature.
Oh yeah.
So the four falls through, and all of course all the places around you lead nowhere. But the four falls through, and there's a winding staircase that goes down. Sabaset lands on his feet and begins walking that way, but there's a clear path for you guys to walk to follow him down if you wish.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna glide because feathers.
Do we have any reaction to the show off over here in his new wings?
I think Datura will probably mutter like, well, I could take the steps 3 at a time, but I'm being more careful.
I think Vaskir is slightly envious as he's like tentatively taking mini steps via like Friar Tim's mental images that's sending him.
There's just judgment over there. I don't know.
Totally oblivious to it.
Yeah.
All right. So you all make your way down, and you follow the curtains, follow the pillows down to where it was, and you notice that where the pillows hit, they turn to sand, and so this entire area is now covered in sand. And as you walk through, there's more and more sand, and it starts to get kind of, you know how caves are echoey because it bounces off the walls and everything like that. The walls around here begin to shift and morph as well, and they turn sand-like, almost muddy in their texture, but dry, still sandy. And as you begin walking through that, there's almost that effect of like sound deafening, like it's just not as loud as it was before, and you can't hear that kind of echo sound and things like that. And Sabaset leads you into the next space, and when you enter into this next room, there are no walls. It's like standing in the middle of a desert where the sky is just this beautiful array of bright stars, and it's like you're a speck in the middle of nothing, standing there simply with Sabaset in the desert of this dimension of his creation. Sabaset says to you all, all right, last go. This is another test of memory. So here's how it works. I'm going to whisper something to one of you, and then we'll see how well you share it with the next down the line. If you're close enough, you get to live. If not, tragic. You've all played telephone, right?
How are we gonna do this online?
What's a telephone?
Just send it to us in chat.
So here's what we're gonna do. Parentheses. Here's how it works. Sabaset, which is me, is going to tell a sentence to one of you. The other three are going to take their headphones off.
Ooh, nice.
And then whoever we'll choose an order now, right? But whoever wants to, we'll go first. I'll tell them, and then we'll go down the line. The last person obviously has to tell Sabaset the sentence. So, who wants to go first, bearing in mind our Celestiset connection?
How would that help us?
Because you can mentally...
You hear it twice, essentially.
Yeah, okay. Ooh, that's cool, because I could, one of us could correct the other one, too, if we get it wrong. We say, no. Yeah.
Celestiset should go first.
First and last.
The other Celestiset should go last.
That's a great call. Okay.
That's the right answer. That's the right answer. Okay. So y'all decide an order, and then we'll go through it and we'll figure it all out. So who wants to go first?
I'll go second.
I
Tim?
should go third.
I'll go first.
First? All right.
Okay, so Friar Tim is first.
Okay.
And then Friar Tim will tell Datura. Sorry. I'm bad with my letters.
I shall step away entirely so as not to prejudice this.
Okay,
right
so
back.
Rhiannon, I will go like this when it's time for you to put your headphones on.
Yes, and then Vaskir will go last. Okay. So we've got our signals.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right. So I'm here with only Fire Tim. So Sabaset comes up to you, and here is the sentence. So wait. So we actually need. Oh no, because you're going to communicate it to him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
he can basically hear what I'm hearing.
Yeah. So do you think we should go ahead and bring him back on?
Yeah, probably.
We gotta bring Vaskir back.
Okay. How do we get Vaskir back on
I
here?
don't
know. Let's see.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll text him. Hey, everyone! Extra Life is an amazing charity, and we're raising money for them right now as we try to figure out all this special Celestia stuff. I also believe that if you donate, we will also make Eric eat more cookies. I think that's how it works.
Oh my god. You should listen.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know. He's probably not looking at his phone.
He's probably not.
It's all right.
Here's what we'll do. That way we'll allow you to repeat it to both him and to her.
Come in.
Oh, he missed us.
He did. Yang.
All right. We're trying to get
Yang Yang's attention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because we gotta get Yang.
Sorry.
We gotta get Yang because Yang Yang gets to listen in on the first one.
It's all right. We'll do it
later. Okay.
Yeah. So right. Sorry. Take off your headphones.
Headphones off.
Off. And I thought I'd mention something on the stream.
Sure.
As we're collecting donations to the Extra Life, you may have noticed that we have milestones. I believe when we hit one of those milestones, then we're going to do a giveaway of one of those things. So I have a few copies of this book that just showed up, and I am going to do a giveaway of a couple of these when we hit $750. So we're actually pretty close to that level right now, so please do. All right. In the meantime, yeah.
Okay.
Yang, since you can hear what Father Tim hears, you should listen in.
So Vaskir gets to listen in on Friar Tim's sentence.
Okay,
so Sabaset whispers into Friar Tim's ear, and he says, Lacambria's sprawling cityscape is home to any adventure you seek.
Okay.
All right. So
here it is. Lacambria's sprawling city.
Whoa, just a sec. I had my thing muted.
Oh, sorry.
As well. Okay. So, start.
Lacambria's sprawling cityscape is home to any adventures you seek.
Lacambria's sprawling cityscape is home to any adventures you seek.
So this is to Vaskir, yes?
Mm-hmm.
The Cambria's sprawling cityscape is home to any adventurers you seek. It's the message that I got.
Vaskir's turn. Now, Vaskir, you have the final say. This is the last thing that goes to Sabaset. What do you say?
He says, Lacambria's sprawling cityscape is home to any adventures you seek.
With that, Sabaset rears up, and you feel warm, hot breath rush over all of you. As it does, you are invigorated with an additional hit points.
Oh.
You all receive 15 temporary hit points.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
I rolled a 10.
Oh,
roll
nice.
that. Roll
Wow.
so the highest possible. You receive if you were missing hit points, but I don't think anybody is. You would raise those, but you receive 15 temporary hit points. And as Sabaset's breath rolls over you, you are transported to a new room. And Sabaset gives you one of these. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Oh, are you free now?
He kind of crumbles into dust, like
Oh.
breaks into a couple pieces. Like stone wasn't made to walk like this, so everywhere he walked and broke turned into stone and all like kind of shattered.
I'm
And
unclear.
so
Is that a yes or a no?
he's okay. He just kind of turns into nothing.
We hear
And
his
there's
voice
a
on the
pop-ups.
wind. I'm okay.
I wasn't ever actually here. I'm still back in table.
Okay, so
we're
we're in a room.
So the dust settles and you're brought into a new space. After solving these riddles, you jump into this space. And I'm gonna change the music real quick because this is the finale here. So you jump into the next space after solving Sabaset's riddles, and you are imported into a mage's duel. Standing around here, there you see Marcus in a dodecahedron room, the similar one that had the large machine in the middle, and you have the 12 star sign rooms, the actual place of the exhibit. Marcus is there. He has his arcane sigils around the kind of dais there where everyone is. Curator Traber is at his feet, and you can see Marcus, and he's trying to mess with this huge arcane machine to kind of destroy everything. And as you see him finishing his work on the pedestal, and this huge burst of arcane energy comes out, and you can see there's a small pool of blood coming from Curator Traber. Marcus calls out to the four of you, "You're too late! You can't stop me! Or you can either stop me or stop yourselves being pulled into the void! What's it gonna be?" And he points to the pedestal and crackles with the arcane energy again, and he looks like he's about to cast a spell. We have just a second before we roll initiative. What do you want to do?
You close enough for hold person? Because this would be a time.
I mean,
Would
yeah.
you like the rest of the tequila? Acid splash.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Can we act?
I think let's say let's get into initiative and then we'll get started.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and roll initiative. And I need someone to roll a d4. Anybody that wants to.
All right, I got one. That is a 3.
You got Anatole the Hunter.
Oh.
Whomever that is.
Who's that?
Let's see. It's a person, which is not as fun as some of the others. That's okay. Ooh, that's not good.
Is it the person we saw in the painting? The 2 paintings?
Nope.
It can be.
Club.
It
Clever
can be.
spear guy.
That'd be way more fun. All right. And top initiatives 25 to 20. 15 to 20.
Wow.
10 to 15.
I got a 10.
15.
Not me.
I got a 14.
14 for Friar Tim. And
Tatura,
what'd you say?
13.
Datura. And then I heard a 10 from
I got a 10. That was me.
From Huarta. And
What's-
then what'd you get, Vasquez?
So I rolled a 2, and I have a -2 to my initiative. So technically it's a 0.
You know what?
God.
Marcus
So
rolled.
slow.
Marcus rolled a 2 as well. But his dex is 0, not -2.
my
God. You know what?
Have we
we're
noticed how clumsy Veskier is?
You have now.
Well, that's why he didn't want to
Sure.
dance. That's why he didn't want to dance at the ball. Negative
All
dex.
right. So, all right. So,
Awesome.
here. Let's touch base real quick because I know it's all theory of the mind. So, here are the things we know about the room. This room is about 60 feet wide, about 60 feet tall. Almost everywhere you are, you're going to be able to find either there's enough space that you can get cover, but there's also enough space that you can get cover if you need to, but there's also enough space that you can probably get an angle on people with your full movement almost all the time. Right now you see Marcus by the dais, looks like he's starting to cast a spell. The curator Traber is there, and the arcane machine that he's kind of messing with is actively trying. It's the third piece of this. It's actively tearing a hole between the material and astral plane at the same time. Kind of his whole plan was to use this machine to kind of destroy the exhibit and be generally mean, right? So those are the three things kind of in place. Do you guys have any questions about the battlefield before we get going? Okay. And for reference, you can kind of, there's enough time as you landed, depending on where you were during the telephone game, you can kind of bend anywhere, right? So, but Marcus is by the dais. There's a machine in the middle of the room. That's the thing that's actively ripping a hole in the world. So, Friar Tim, you're up first.
Does the machine have a big on and off switch?
That'd be nice. I think it does, but at this point, it's so unstable. You might think that it couldn't be just simply turned off.
Do I have any idea what I could do to stop what it's doing?
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check. As a cleric, you can also give me religion if you prefer.
They're both equally bad. I don't know why he's so bad at these things. Oh yeah, this is reflective of how bad he is. 5.
Ooh, 5.
Yeah.
Immediately looking at the machine, with a 5, it's not clear at this exact moment exactly how to destroy it, or not destroy it, but to get it to quit working. You would know that there are certain magics that allow you to disable these sorts of things, like dispel and that sort of thing. I don't know. I don't think we're at that level yet, though.
No.
But there are also ways to disable the runes or the sigils that are causing this as well. And sometimes, if you can disrupt those physically, that can stop the effects.
Okay.
In this case, it looks like it's an overcharged battery. So something's being called here, and that's probably the thing you'd want to stop, is the energy source coming in.
Okay.
But right now, we don't know what that looks like.
Okay. At least I can maybe stop his casting a spell. So
yes.
I will go ahead and let loose with that hold person.
Perfect.
It's not a great DC. It's a 12.
That's okay. Give it a shot.
Yeah. That's
We're
a
not
good
great
thing.
adventurers. Give it a shot.
Yeah.
All right, and so this is a wisdom save?
Yeah.
All right, he has got a +0, so this is going to be
Come on.
a 10.
Ooh, look
A
at
10.
Oh, nice. Heck yeah.
Ah,
That's lucky. Okay. So he freezes in place. How far away is he from me?
So he could have been 30 feet away.
Okay, I'm going to
right now he's frozen.
Right. I'm going to go 30 feet. Is he holding anything?
He's got his scroll, and it looks like he's about to open it up on the start of his turn.
Can I interact with object and take it from him?
Whole person's in action, yes.
Yes.
Interact object, also in action.
Oh, I thought it was a free thing.
It is usually a free thing, but if this is a kind of complex thing to do, then maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're talking.
Is there anything I can do in case he unfreezes next round?
It's a little harder than like flipping a switch or something.
Yeah.
He won't. I went before him, so I get to act again before he rolls again.
Because
so okay.
he won't become paralyzed till
Yeah.
the end of your turn, so
Right,
he doesn't
right,
have
right.
a turn this turn.
Yay!
No,
Which is nice.
Cool. All right. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to say he's. I've got him petrified for a few seconds. Act quickly. I don't know what this machine's doing.
I'm holding it with my magic.
I will say that Fraction that you are able to. He's held with the holy symbol. You are able probably to put your hands on the scroll.
Okay.
But I mean, he's locked in place too, right? So
Great.
it'd be hard to take it from him. But you got it. You got it on his hand. And he's in place there.
Okay.
You're
Tura.
wrestling with a frozen man.
Tura bounds up to the machinery, and should she do some kind of investigate kind of roll to examine it?
Yes,
Or
I will
Arcana.
go ahead and give it because you've been looking for these arcane things and going for that stuff. You can do Arcana if you want to just kind of get a sense of it, but if you're looking for those specific things, we could do investigation. Which would you prefer?
She's focused on the runes, so let's do
Okay.
investigate. I mean, it's
Let's do
the same,
investigation first.
same bonus either way, so it doesn't really matter. But that's a 14.
14. So with a 14, going up to the machine again, you obviously get the sense that this thing's being overloaded with energy. And Marcus is very runic based, right? So you do see on this machine put into the on the floor there are some sort of arcane runes, and they appear to be pulling stuff in from the void and overloading this machine with the zodiac kind of energy, and it's bringing these two planes together and trying to force them into the same space. It seems as though that particular rune or series of runes is what's causing this overload.
Cool. So since I just moved, would I be able to cantrip one of the runes? Or
You can certainly try, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because it's movement. We usually say bonus action to do investigation checks. But yeah, you still have actions and stuff.
Okay. So she's focusing not on the machinery, but on one of the runes that's feeding to it in hopes that this will be less catastrophic. And so she's got a cantrip for a firebolt.
Cool. Go ahead
she's
and
just gonna be like.
Yeah, I don't think you can miss, but go ahead and roll damage on this because there's a certain amount of like stuff that we will do to because are you trying to disrupt the rune just so it stops working?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage on that for me.
Okay, D&D Beyond is not wanting to, so 1d10. I will roll it in roll 20.
No.
Oh, one damage.
Oh no.
Ping.
Bummer.
Ping.
Two things. Number one, doesn't look like it did a lot of damage. Number two, it looks like it did some. So you get the sense that if you continued to do this and you did enough damage on it, that you could potentially destroy this room and stop the effect. Yes.
We wouldn't go cantrips next time. Just gotta get to the next turn.
Gerta.
Well, I was going to do the acid splash thing because I want to put in a brief plug for bartenders because acid splash is literally the cantrip that they learn when they take that subclass. It's like you mixed up something really noxious. But now that he's
Or
held,
lemon. Splash of lemon.
that means he's granting advantage. So I'm just going to slide over there, whip out my kukri,
Oh,
my
dang.
goodness.
and plunge it into him.
Terms of service. No, you stab him. Go ahead and roll that with advantage.
Wow, that's a cool blade.
Really
Yeah.
is. Really is dope.
Do you whack the blackberry bushes in the backyard with that thing?
Okay, I actually only got a 14. Does that still hit?
That is more than enough to defeat him, and you can see that you're coming in and you're getting it with the there's like a little bit of a mage armor that he appears to already have up, but you pierce straight through that and into him. Remind me, whole person, he's actually paralyzed, right? Or is he just no actions? So it's auto crit, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Go ahead and roll that damage.
I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's an. Is it an automatic crit? Is that how that works?
If paralysis
If he's paralyzed.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Paralyzed
dang.
it
Okay,
is.
cool.
Versus
All right, so
incapacitated.
let's see.
Yeah,
Or
melee
restrained.
hits. Melee hits. It's bad. It's the great thing about the whole person.
23 damage.
Ooh.
23.
Well, I have plus 2d6 sneak attack, so.
Jesus. Well, that's Mark. You get him in the spine. His paralysis is permanent.
Wow.
And his paralysis is permanent now.
Oh my
and,
goodness.
He
very,
would fall.
very efficient blade.
He would fall if he could, but unfortunately, all of his muscles are paralyzed. So he feels the pain, and I think Friar Tim, you can see it in his eyes as they go kind of like pupils dilate a little bit.
Yeah.
As he's very sad, he would drop unconscious if he could, but he's locked up magically. So he's just gonna stand there, and then on his turn, or whenever he can, he'll fall unconscious. 'Cause he doesn't have that many hit points, and he got crit by a rogue. All right,
Oh my goodness.
but at that point, that brings us up to, so that will end your turn. We still have Marcus is not doing well at all, but we still have a astral machine that is still charging and things like that. Those are other things going on, so we're not out of initiative quite yet. Speaking of that, at initiative count 10, ripping through the astral plane and into this one, coming in, is that Anatole the Cunning. Breaking through and coming through is that hunter you saw from the painting before. This time, longbow out, coming in and firing shots. I'm gonna hit one towards Vaskier and one towards you, Datura. These are arrows coming at you two as this thing comes into. Now this is it looks like a humanoid creature, right? But it is not made of flesh and bone. It is made of stars and constellation. You can see where the bones are and all the joints.
Ooh.
There are flashes of stone, and the hands themselves, hands and feet and teeth, are incredibly bright as all those stars come together. Let's see. Vaskier does a does a 17 hit.
It does not.
Oh, that's not good. Okay. 17 misses?
That
Yes.
guy is coated in plate
mail,
armor.
plate plus shield.
Just ting! Yeah, that's right. Plate mail. That's right. Ting. It hits.
He's a
like he did
walking
his
tank.
best. He did his best. He just boom. Datura does a 23 hit.
Ooh.
So I'm
Naturally.
gonna say her shield will go off and it will still hit. So she's got the shield spell as a reaction, and that still won't be enough. So
It's like and it's not too bad. Only 5. Only 5 piercing. So those two and so the arrow bounces off the breastplate now, and then as the starlight arrow comes at you, Datura, you block the shield, and it would normally block a traditional wooden or steel arrow, but this one passes through that directly. It hits you in the shoulder. It goes in deep and then disappears, fades, it singers like you got shot by a blaster in Star Wars.
Still have all those 10 hit points, right?
Yes.
yeah, I was gonna say it came out of those.
It was 15 temporary hit points. That will end its turn as it comes into play. Marcus is unconscious and sad.
Unconscious standing.
He's like just crying.
What happened to me?
Vaskier.
Well, This will be the second time I've smited a god, I think. So he's gonna walk up to him.
In the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. Tries to hit him with a warhammer.
You move up to the celestial being that's appeared.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Roll to hit.
Does a 19 hit?
19 does hit.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so good. How'd y'all get so good at D&D?
We have good dice.
Nice.
I'm gonna expend a smite as well. So it's gonna be 7 weapon damage plus divine smite, which is going to be 2d8. Let's see here.
You too can be really good at D&D with dice from Norse Foundry.
Shout out to Norse Foundry, I guess.
14 total damage.
14 total damage. This guy looks a little stronger than Marcus, but you can see that you are successfully doing damage to the creature. It doesn't look like he's, immune to non-magical damage or anything like that. It looks like it all went through. I would describe it, since there is no physical form necessarily there. What I would say is that it appears as though it's almost like he's trying to be banished, like he's almost like zipping in and out of this plane, getting ready to be out.
No.
But that is bonus action for anything?
Yeah, bonus action. I do have Shield Master. Does my weapon sort of like pass through him? So could I shove this creature?
You could. Yeah, you can absolutely shove if you want to.
Okay, I'm gonna just try to. So yeah, I powered up my sword, hit him with my sword, and then a little bit of lingering radiance on my shield as I try to knock out his legs from underneath him. Let's go.
It's a competitive, right?
Yes, I rolled a nat 20 though, so he's got to beat a 24,
Nice.
either athletics or
three.
acrobat.
Yes.
Oh,
Rolled a
Nice.
3 for a total of 8.
Welcome to the Prime Material Plane.
he was not expecting to be smitten by a mortal.
And tripped.
And
Oh, how humiliating.
It really is.
So he's prone.
He's prone on the ground. You smacked him, and that's movement action bonus section. So that ends your turn. That brings around back to Friar Tim. You are standing. Remember, you are standing there. You have got the scroll that Marcus had. The light has left his eyes, and it's your turn. What do you do?
I'm going to release the spell from him and hold on to the scroll and remove it from his hands as he falls.
He slumps to the ground right next to Curator Traber, who's bleeding out.
What is the scroll?
Open it up very quickly. Dimension door is what it would be, because you're a cleric, right?
Yeah.
So you would recognize it as Dimension door.
He was going to get out of here. All right, tuck that in my robe, turn around, and there's this weird celestial being on the ground, and I see Datura focused on a rune.
Yeah, the runes that are feeding into the machinery.
There's also the curator who is bleeding out at your feet.
Don't let her die.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be bad.
I mean, if you want to get paid, don't let her die.
You don't have to get paid. We can be altruistic adventurers.
Is she
True, we could be.
She's unconscious?
She is unconscious. She is
Okay.
unconscious. She is not making death saving throws, but she is unconscious.
Oh, okay. It's not so bad then.
I would equate her to Spare the Dying. Spare Dying's been cast upon her effectively.
Oh, she's already stable. Everything's cool there.
She's not in danger of dying. Marcus thought that she would disappear with the void situation.
Get in there, Tim. Get in there.
I'm gonna
Not in the void, in the battle.
Yeah.
Well, Tim is from how far away is he from the now prone celestial being?
Not that far. Close enough, I would say. His spells are so weak. He's going to do a sacred flame on this thing, and so That's
I have to.
It's a saving throw, right?
Yes, that's right. 12 is the DC, but it's prone, so I don't know if it would have.
What is it? Dex save? What kind of save is it?
Dex.
Okay, so he does get disadvantage on that. 10 on the first one, natural 20 on the second. 10 plus 3, so 13.
Rats. Okay. So he makes it.
On the ground, rolls over.
And then Tim's going to step out of range of any weapons and make sure Vesky's between him and the creature.
Yeah, you could certainly make your way in such a way that you're behind the machine, where you got total cover from the celestial archer.
Sounds good.
But that will end your turn for our Tim. Datura, you are at the machine. You have located the runes. You know that they can be destroyed via cantrips, but maybe that's not enough. But what are you doing?
Enough with the penny ante nonsense. On to the nickel ante. So she's gonna cast magic missile.
Magic missile.
She's got a 2nd level slot, and it feels like this is the time when she should use it.
It does feel like this is the time for sure.
Pew, 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 pew.
Ping, 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 ping,
Because
ping.
what I mean by that is, as the machine continues to build up, you're getting the sense you don't have that long to destroy these things. It's starting to become more and more unstable. Specifically, it's got about 2 more rounds. But magic missile is great and it's awesome against runes. It always hits. So let's roll some damage.
Okay, so that's first what? So there's 4, and she wants to spread them out among the different. So 4 darts. She wants to spread them out among the different runes. So first dart, 4 damage. Oh, this is on the slow rolling dice. I forgot that I set that up differently for a different character. Okay. That's another 4.
So on the when those first 2 hit, like it's kind of like I imagine the magic missiles are going down. It's like when the first 2 hit, that destroys the first room. You can see that there's one more. There's one more room. You hit that one next. That's what this roll's going to do damage to.
Okay, so a 3 and a 4, so 7 for the
7 more.
The other 2.
That rune appears as though it's about halfway done. It's sparking now, but with that, the machine is still garnering energy, and those planes are still continuing to shift and shear, but one of them is down. And you can see that it goes inert and breaks. Bonus action for anything?
Nope.
All right. That brings down to Gerta.
I see. So that celestial being is still there. It's still on the ground.
Yes, prone on the ground, avoiding sacred flames and trying not to get smoked.
Okay, I'm gonna run over and hack at him with my kukri here.
Go ahead and make that with advantage since he's prone.
Excellent.
I just want to take this moment to quickly thank our donors to our Extra Life. We have increased it by 150 since the break was over.
Woo! Great, thank you.
Yeah.
I unfortunately only got a 12. Does that hit?
It does not.
Ah. And hacking down at the ground, I'm like, stay still, stay still.
You know,
Nah,
hey.
nah.
Oh, you already rolled advantage.
I did. First one was even lower. Yeah, so Norse Foundry dice. Sometimes they will betray you, but then again, all dice do. So
you know what? Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll a 3rd time for $150 in donations. Rules be damned.
All right, here we go.
Thank you, Daniel.
Rules be down. One more time. He's on the ground prone. Give me a 3rd roll.
I'm not sure that was a good idea because I just rolled a 20. So
Ooh.
No, that's perfect. Perfect.
Jesus. Okay,
Yeah,
thanks
good
everybody. Keep donating.
Yeah, thanks Lurking Rider,
Yes.
Benro, and the Ballad of Himbo Sortion.
Perfect. If you keep donating, they'll keep getting advantage.
Okay, I just did 30 damage to him.
Nice.
That is not good for him.
Here's the tour pinging off the little root.
Ping, 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 ping.
So that'll
Look,
bring him.
I can't crit the machinery, I'm pretty sure.
So that'll bring him to -9 hit points. So as this celestial, so there's this kind of strange juxtaposition between the material and the astral plane. as this creature is kind of like living in both worlds. What does this look like as you come through and hit your second crit of the battle and kind of shatter, or what does this look like?
Well, it's a being made of celestial energy, right? Star power. Okay, so it just like starts evaporating and shattering around me, and stars are floating around me, and I'm floating among the stars, and my feathers are like whispering up, and I'm like, I have the power. Why are you all looking at me like that?
You are a crazy man.
Initiative count 10. I need somebody to roll a d4.
Uh-oh.
As another creature comes from that plane.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Oh,
Here we go.
Goodness.
2.
2.
What did we roll last time? 3?
Yeah. I'm so happy.
Oh, good.
That's not good for us.
The DM
It
keeps
is
us
the-
rolling till we get the good thing.
It is
The good thing for the DM.
It's the super fun one.
Oh, good.
It's the reptilian nature. It's the scales. It's the dragon as its face pull. The whole body doesn't even come through the plane. This celestial dragon with teeth like stars brings just its head through from the astral plane into this one. It is almost as big as the room itself.
Oh my god.
As this large celestial creature has plopped its way right in front of you, Vaskir, and I think you're all three right there, right? No. Yeah, Friarton's behind. So it's Gerta and Vaskir as this whole thing opens its mouth and looks at all of you. Start of its turn, I need everyone to make fear saves.
I have advantage because I drank that drink.
Yes. I hope it works out.
Yeah. So is that wisdom or charisma?
It's charisma.
Charisma.
In this case, it's not real high. It's 10. It's real small. Charisma saves of 10, or fear.
Ooh, 26. That's another 20. Heck yeah.
Hey.
18.
18.
I got a 22, so I'm good.
All good.
And
Tim, now the high roll comes out.
No.
Tim is behind it, so does he still have to make the roll?
Technically speaking, you don't have line of sight, so I don't think you have to.
Okay.
Is that right? It's been a while. I think that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So because
it depends on how the power works, right? If you get scared by seeing the thing, yes. If it exudes an aura, then yeah, you'd still have to make the save.
Yeah, I don't think you have to because you can't see it. So that when it uses a fighting presence, you can't see it. It can't see you. You didn't even see it come out and be all scary. So like, how could you be scared? All right, and then it's just gonna do its void breath, the celestial breath onto both you, Vaskir, and I think it's Gerta's right there.
Is it me?
Yeah, the two of you need to make a dexterity saving throw. I know Friar Tim and Datura are probably placed in such a way that they're outside this cone, so neither of you need to make it. But those other two, DC is only 11, so let me see what you get.
Oh, what? I rolled another 20! Yeah, I can't believe it!
Nice.
That's incredible!
I got a dirty 20 by rolling a 17, so.
Dirty 20, natural 20. Both of you only take half of this void damage, which is only 13 half to 6. So you both take 6 cold damage on this failed save.
Remember those temp hit points if you still have them.
Temp hit points.
Because I have Shield Master, if I make a dex saving throw to only take half, I can use my reaction to take no damage because I toss the shield between me and this creature.
Nice.
Do you want to? You don't have to.
I definitely do it. You can't trick me. It's my reaction.
You do so. You block it entirely. Reduce that to 0. This celestial face of this dragon is still moving, slithering, like kind of waving around like a basilisk, right? But it's in this space attacking. You're getting the sense that on 10, one of these creatures is going to appear every time until you shut down the arcane. Vaskir, it's now your turn.
Or just saw Vaskir do that with the shield. And there's like, wow. Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, so I'm sort of debating between... So Vaskir is debating between his paladin self, which is his primary job, and smiting this creature once again, or his doctor self and trying to bring the curator back. But I feel like the dragon is definitely more urgent. So
it's really hard to say, honestly.
Yeah, let's try to hit this dragon. So 12, 17 to hit?
17 exactly hits.
Nice. So that is going to be 9 bludgeoning, and then I'm going to burn my last spell slot for another smite. So 14 radiant, so 23 total.
Nice.
23 total.
Ooh, radiant too. I wonder how that does. Does the radiant seem to do extra damage to it?
It does not. And typically the way I have, this is parentheses fun lore stuff, the way I've kind of designed the celestial beings, usually they're either resistant or immune to radiant. Is kind of what we've done with these creatures, but it's not in this one because it's level 3. So there are no resistances here. So the full damage goes through the creature's celestial. It actually, like when you hit it with his hammer, uppercut or side swipe, how did you hit it?
Yeah, he's gonna try to uppercut it below and like get its mouth closed. So
yeah, when you hit it in the jaw snaps shut, the whole head explodes into stars and then retracts back together as it does, and it looks just like supernova kind of stuff as it comes back in.
That's awesome.
All right, and then that's. Do you want to move or bonus action for anything?
He'll stand there. He'll stand there, and he's not gonna. I mean, I guess he'll like prop his shield up against it. Just
you're ready if you need it. Okay, cool. All right, that'll end your turn. That brings us back to fire. Tim, you're over there behind. You have not seen the dragon yet. I think you could probably figure out that's there though. It's like when everyone else is like, oh no, dragon. But you're there with Datura and the arcane symbols and the machine itself. And the machine itself, so this is top of the round. This is the second round. So that's the end of the second round. So we're starting the third round, right? So this is at this point, the machine is starting to really kind of get ready to overload and shock and explode.
Okay,
it's starting to get tough.
Oh boy.
Do I think that my sacred flame would do anything against this one of these runes?
Yeah, anything that I would imagine the sacred flame, it does damage in general, so absolutely can mechanically. But I also imagine like that juxtaposition or really that kind of contrast between arcane versus divine energy. You might be able to sap the arcane energy out of it via sacred flame. So yes, you could.
Okay, and it can't really make a dex save.
It doesn't, so you would just roll damage.
Okay, here it is. 6 damage. Just radiant.
As this radiant energy goes into it, you do see those two magics colliding, and for a second, it's almost like the arcane energy has to stop because it has to resist the other one for a little bit, and you can see this damage. But in the end, the sacred flame's not quite enough. We are so close, but it does some damage. It does feel like it goes through. We are at the very last pieces of it.
Okay.
That's action, right? So anything else?
Perception to see, does the weakening of every time Datura or now Tim does something to weaken or remove one of these runes, has it had an effect on the behavior of the machine at all?
Yes. So what I would say is give me a perception check.
Okay.
Well, no, don't do a perception check. Do a Arcana check.
Okay.
Do an Arcana check.
So good at those. So 10.
10? I think that's good enough. With arcane runes are odd in the way that they work, and magic is weird in general, right? What I would say is that the magic wants to fight through, to finish the job. So it's trying harder, but so it's trying to send more through. But it's very clear that it's almost like, it's like the runes are desperate to complete their task. The magic wants to succeed. It wants to finish what it was destined to do. But as you destroy the runes, it's clear that it won't. So it's like violently trying. It's almost like last-ditch stuff sort of thing. But it's not slowing down the process, but it is keeping it from... you feel like if you got the last one out, it would all stop immediately.
Ooh, okay. Cool.
You got this, Datura. It's you.
That
Finish
does bring
it.
Ping it
that
again.
does bring us to Datura.
So there, as far as her magic missile, she's going to do magic missile again. As far as the separate darts, is there one place for them all to go to, or
there's only one sigil left? It was kind of like you had, and the way it was kind of set up, and if I could be a little bit more descriptive about it, was if there was one sigil attached to the machine and one sigil attached to the ground. It was like those two were connected together. You destroyed one of them, and now there's only one of them left, and it looks pretty hurt. You said you were gonna do magic missile again?
Yeah,
Okay,
it'd
go
probably be more than it needs, but
probably.
all right. 7 and 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. That will bring this arcane to -10 life.
Wow.
Datura, this machine is trying to overload with magical energy from the astral plane. Sparks are coming off of it, stars like solar flares as it tries to overload and shatter this place and the exhibit and everything else with it. The dragon is sitting there fighting your friends, but as you destroy this last arcane rune, what does that look like? Because it's all gonna stop and everything's gonna be over. How do you want to do this? What does this look like for Datura? What does the magic missile look like? All that fun stuff. Tell us how this happens.
So her magic missiles are pure white. So they kind of get like a little bit of a star thing. And so they like pew 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 in. And I think that it's sort of like you were talking about the dragon like bursting out and then coming back into alignment. I think it's like that where it's light and it sort of like bursts out and then darkness, but it doesn't come back. It's just like darkness as far as the machinery and the sigils and everything. So I don't know what other lights would be in there, but it's very sort of like almost like a blow. It's so abrupt, so dark. Bang.
I love it. I love it. I think what I love the most about it is the contrast. It's like, because there's all this energy and the celestial, exactly as you described. You've got the dragon coming around for its second set of attacks. But once this link is severed, every light in this room goes out. Everything all at once. The machine is off. The candles go out. All the magic. There was magical lights. It all got taken out. It was like a vacuum pulled all the magic out of this room. All the arcane energy stopped. And all that is left is the four of you in darkness with Marcus and Curator Tiber. Marcus is dead. and the Curator is unconscious. But we win.
Crack the neck.
Careful with that.
Well
Something
done.
like that happened to Marcus.
Does anybody have any healing?
Yeah, so Vaskir can go over to the Curator, and he will use his Lay on Hands and give her all 15 hit points.
And I will go over to the Curator and give her some tequila.
Yeah, you have a shot there ready for her when she wakes up.
This is an emergency of the good stuff.
No, quick, before you get the Lay on Hands, here's a lime. You need this. Both those things together, you've got the tequila shot, you've got the Lay on Hands, and Curator Tiber, eyes open, comes back to life. You can see it's almost like there are stars in her eyes from the residual magic in this place. They open up in stars and they fade back to her normal self. and she's a little confused at first. She says, "I thought I was dead." And then she reaches up and gives you a massive hug. And just as tight as she can, and then we have all of you standing around, successfully saving as many of these people. I want to throw it to all of you for the reaction, but that is the end of our adventure. Throw it to you.
Well, I think we've earned our cake tonight. Curator Tiber, your erstwhile apprentice lies here on the floor. Sorry.
It's because he can't stand, which is my fault.
So I'm definitely getting hired permanently. We talked about that at one point, but I'm hoping you're pleased enough to.
You can all have whatever you want. Oh my god, it's amazing.
I would like the chunk of meridium. Thank you.
Well, that's not mine to give, but I have gold that you can have. There's an apartment on the west side that I think you would love it, and there are small tears coming down her eyes of joy and happiness from not dying, and the effort you've all put in for her.
I have a humble request, and that is that I wish to have a tavern of my own where I might pursue my joy, which is making drinks.
We can definitely get you into the Fuzzy Navel to start out, but I don't think that they can. I don't think they're just going to give you the bar. But
don't worry, I can take care of that.
All right. I now realize you were probably saying.
I can take care of that.
You were probably asking for us to say something about ourselves and the end of the game and extra life, not the end.
Oh no! This is what I want. This is what I wanted. Let's finish it. Let's react to the moment.
Okay.
Well, Goethe goes off to have a career as a bartender, sharpening their skills and deriving lots of information and rumors from all sorts of people who come by. And most of their, at least half of their income goes to support this orphanage that they have adopted because they grew up as an orphan and they want to give back to the community.
The Children's Miracle Network Orphanage.
Also, there's
exactly
their kukri that has cut down two very powerful entities, one of which was born of the stars, is kept above the bar as a warning and a promise to always return when the need is great.
Looking like Kavoth over here, just like, let me put that up there.
Killed an angel, but let me tell you about going to school for a while. Anyway. Sorry, Pat. Love you. Anyway.
So Vaskir returns to the party that night, and because he has no fear, because of the drink that he was given by Goethe, he dances terribly, but has a wonderful time and feels no shame about it until the next morning when the drink wears off. And he is forever horrified by that one night at the ball at the museum. And so he devotes himself ever more to his duty as an Oath of Sovereignty paladin. And anytime anybody even mentions or recognizes that he is the paladin from that evening, he disappears into the nearest reflective object.
It's like, weren't you that guy who helped? No, I was not.
Hey, what's that over there? And there's just a shield like clattering on the ground.
Well, Datura is gonna come work for them because this is what she wants, and she's gonna start by seeing if she can repair the magical machinery, but not have it like work in a bad way. And she promises that if there are any wild magic surges, like there were in the first of these episodes, that it will not be on purpose. There will be no malice behind them. So she's not like Marcus like that.
There's extensive research to be done on the signs and the stars, and it's not unlike the wild magic. I think that's perfect for Datura. About Friar Tim, what's going on in his life?
Well, Friar Tim is very sensitive to his own destiny and the destinies of the intertwined destinies of the Celesticeps, and having met another, will contrive to stay close to Vaskir and find a way to continue to keep their destinies close. And so he's he doesn't have a church or a temple or a shrine of his own. He's a wandering friar, and is probably going to see if he can entice Vaskir into some wandering in the sense of service wandering, where they can view the land and meet people and do volunteer work across the land, basically. But in a cozy sort of manner. This is we're not low wage workers. We're of course Celesticeps of stature, and this requires a certain amount of comfort along the way. So they'll take carriages and they'll stay in fine inns and so on, and much of this will be funded by the reward money from the curator, of course, and then later by jobs that they take for those in need.
Yeah, and Vaskir is happy to leave because people in the city will remember that night at the museum where he danced.
They will. They will. Well, the apartment that you are gifted from curator Tiber should serve as a great home base for any of you who are going to be adventurers, and particularly Datura, as she stays here to work with Novo Maximum, and the Sparrowhawks, which are kind of this larger, almost FBI-like organization that is charged with keeping the peace in all of Aroria, will be more than happy to have a wandering friar and paladin willing to do good in the world, and would more than support your adventures, along with the 5,000 gold pieces you all get split as a reward for completing this adventure.
Very nice.
So a base to continue, a wonderful place to do these things, a bar to work out of at the Fool's Gold Inn for our dear Vaskir, if that's what he chooses to do, and maybe a down payment with his share of the money to start his own bar.
For Goethe?
But
Goethe, yeah.
For Goethe, yeah, sorry. To do all these things. But yes, that is I don't know if we'll be playing anymore with these characters, but you would level up if you normally would. At the end of this adventure, you get a level 4, which is the way it's designed, so that you could then adventure throughout Aroria without issues, kind of how the whole thing worked. But
without dying a lot.
Welcome Raiders. We just had 35 Raiders. 35 Raiders entry from the Garwar
good to
stream.
See you, Raiders. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah. Gar will be playing on the channel next.
Did he complete Final Fantasy
IV?
Did he complete Final Fantasy IV? Because that's what he was doing this morning, right?
Yeah, let us know how far you got on Final Fantasy, man.
I hope it worked out, Garwar. Looking forward to playing with you, buddy.
Yeah, and we'll tell him about Extra Life. I think he'll be playing the next game, so his viewers will probably stick around, and we'll get a chance to tell them again at that point. But excellent, we are doing quite well. We have had a total about $300 donated during this session, which brings us up to about just under just about $600 of the $2,000 goal for Dungeon Scrawlers. And at $750, Eric is going to give away 3 copies of his latest book that he co-wrote with Amanda Cherry.
Femmes Fatale. Very cool.
Yeah. And in total, we've raised almost $1,500. So keep it coming.
Yeah. Well, this was wonderful. Thank you. I'm so thankful to have been a part of this and to be able to run this for you guys and to be part of the Extra Life stuff. So thank you all for being here and being amazing players. And I know this is probably where I leave you all, but I hope you all have a great time and finish all this out. But yeah, let's finish raising some money let's hit our goal.
Yeah.
Send that out.
So Daniel,
thank you, Daniel.
Yeah,
Great
you've been wonderful. You've been wonderful. This has been super fun. I love Stargazers, and like you guys are always welcome to come back. Run something else. On our channel again. Would love to revisit these characters or new characters. And I want to say, like, I always have a lot of fun with this homebrew from Stargazers.
Such a compelling setting, and it just spirals out into such cool ideas. So yeah. Also, that art is really cool. Like you can see the art in Daniel's background there, and with the golden.
That shout out to my wife Lauren. She did all that by hand. She did
amazing.
She did so much of the art for the entire book, like all the branding, all the stuff with all the marketing and everything, and of course even the book itself. Basically, like I think 80% of the art is her personal work. It's just lovely. I'm so glad you guys like it and have a good time with it. So this is great.
Oh, always a blast.
It's really been fun. Thank you. Well, thanks for coming, Daniel.
Yeah. Maybe tell us about your channel though before you go, and then if people want to check out Stargazers, where can they go?
Yeah, sure. Be happy to do that. Wasn't prepared for that, but okay. So we're Ink-and-Lyre. We're a publishing company. We published Stargazer's Guide to Aroria on Kickstarter last year. It's available. So you can. We stream on Twitch. We run a game set in Aroria on Mondays at 8 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Pacific. No, 8:30. 8:30 is when we start. 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific time. We're nearing the end of that campaign. I think we're about 90 some odd episodes in. I'm on that show as we've been going for almost 2 years.
Nice.
A little over 2 years. And so we're coming to the end of that campaign. And it's all set here in Aroria. I play a character called Samson over there. My wife runs it. We have a bunch of awesome players over there. It's awesome content. It's a great time. But we're there on Mondays. And then on Wednesdays, we're currently running a Spelljammer campaign.
Love Spelljammer.
If you've seen Aroria content on this channel before, you know Jake. And Jake is our DM for that show. And so he's doing a great job there early in that process. I think there are 4 episodes in, so it's pretty early in that campaign. You can check them out over there. That show starts at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific time.
We got some competing time slots there.
You can have both.
How dare you, Daniel? No, I'm just kidding.
This is why we need multiple screens for everyone's computer, right?
That's very true. So what you should do is watch your Dungeon Scrawler show, and you should check us out on YouTube. We archive all our stuff over there. You can watch that whenever you want. We're also on podcast format, so you can check those things out at Ink-and-Lyre everywhere. And then we occasionally do something we call Short Rest. It's a where we play video games and all kinds of stuff. Lately, we've been doing spooky stuff like Midnight Ghost Hunt and other things like that. So we have a good time over there, and that's a time when we all just get to interact together and hang out with the community. So you can check us out there at Ink-and-Lyre on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all those fun places. And then if you like this setting, if you like stuff for Stargazers, it's available on DriveThru. So you can go to DriveThru RPG. You can get the whole setting there. There's custom character sheets. There's the PDF, of course. We made this cool NPC star chart, which I find incredibly helpful. It tells you what all the signs are, all the manifestations, their normal zodiac associations. Super fun stuff.
Yeah, that sounds super fun.
Yeah, the Swindle Twins that feature in these 3 episodes are the manifestations for Gemini, and it's just they're just such great storytelling tools. So,
totally.
and I think that because I wrote it, but
no bias. Yes.
No bias. But it's a lot of fun. But I really appreciate it. This was great.
Right on.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Yep. Well, we're going to be taking a break until about 4 p.m. Pacific, so that's in about 37 minutes. In the meantime, we have a couple of different screens that will highlight our different extra life incentives, and also what's coming up next is Bust My Lair with Keith Amon, the author of The Monsters Know What They're Doing, and he has a forthcoming book called How to Defend Your Lair. Hello. Hold on 1 second.
Stephen is off for his he has a memorial service for an old friend of his, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well,
Glad
totally
he
makes
could
sense.
join us for a while, and wish him well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, while Yang Yang's fixing all that,
Oh,
I
it's
want
been
to
fixed.
oh, cool. I want to briefly shout out a couple of the Extra Life incentives that are still waiting. There is still a package for getting t-shirts from Savage Sparrow Studios. Jennifer is one of the players on our Grey Mantle game. She's the one who is doing the cool collaboration with Paizo and doing Pathfinder legit merch on this Kickstarter that she's doing. And she also creates a whole bunch of really cool shirts through Savage Sparrow. So check that out. It's a $50 donation for 3 t-shirts of your choice. Well worth it. There's also 2 packages of the Empire of Exiles charity pack left, which is a signed book, t-shirt, art pad, all pre-order swag, right from Aaron. Those are signed copies of the books, definitely worth doing. I am giving away campaign consults on your D&D or other game campaign. I play a lot of games. I got concepts. So there's one of those left. There are still 2 $500 Yang Yang Wang will DM a one shot for your group packages left.
Yes, I totally forgot to plug myself. But if you ever have watched me play or DM like one of my really crazy one shots, like the caveman one with a limited language, etc., and you thought they looked like fun, or you want to challenge me to see whether you can run a coffee shop better, now's your chance.
And I want to briefly talk about, we have a bunch of incentives that are specifically geared for the one shot that Keith is going to be running for us in about half an hour. You can get us natural 20 rolls or ones, if that's what you prefer, for either charity. The players or for the NPCs. It's all for charity. It's all for fun. Guidance on a couple of our rolls. And this is very important. You can get us hints, which are $50 donations, or some hero on the stream can buy us the major magic items for the whole party package, which is a $250 donation. If you buy that incentive, we all get a bunch of items that are going to help us survive this meat grinder of a game that Keith is going to run us through. And if you do that, you will get a personal shout out from me on the stream. And I will, I probably can't send you one of these cookies, but I will dedicate a cookie to you.
No. You have to eat it on stream live for them.
Yes, I will dedicate it to you and then eat it on stream for you. But even that is not the best incentive because if you have $1,000 to donate to charity to help children in need in the Miracle Network, you can get the legendary Keith Ammon to DM a one shot for your group. We have one of those, one shot that we talked Keith into doing.
Yeah.
So
just for y'all.
Poll your group, see if you got some money to throw together. It's all going to a good cause, and it will give you a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So also, if you would prefer to have it twice-in-a-lifetime opportunities, there are 2 Yang Yang Wang games.
Yeah, so talk to the rest of your party group members, pool in some funds, get yourself some fun one-shots.
Yes.
And lastly, don't forget that we do have a $25 gift certificate giveaway from Norse Foundry. Anybody in the world can enter. And the number that we will give away will depend on the total amount of funds that we've raised by the end of today.
Right. And I'm going to give away 3 copies when we get to 750, because we obviously will. It's just we haven't yet. And I want to remind everybody that Aaron's book, Empire of Exiles, is coming out this Tuesday. This Tuesday is also voting day here in America. So you have 2 jobs on Tuesday. 1, vote. 2, buy Aaron's book, because you're going to need something to calm your nerves afterward. So,
yep.
Thanks, everyone. I'll see you in half an hour.
Yeah, great job, Daniel, once again. And
thank you so much, Daniel.
It was fun. Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for running. Bye, everyone.